Space. The final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Pelican. Its continuing mission: to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before. I don't think the last part of that monologue has been more appropriate until this live stream, because we are literally going where no man has gone before. We are going into a black hole. Well, I mean, where no man has gone before. We've gone there before. We've gone through a black hole in previous live streams, but humans in real life, obviously, have never gone into a black hole. Maybe in some alternate universe, in some alternate timeline, but not in ours. And black holes have always been fascinating for me. Ever since I was a little kid reading these little textbooks, these science textbooks, I was always amazed by them, always intrigued. What we're going to be doing is heading through the black hole and exploring what lies on the other side thoroughly. Welcome, YouTube family. This is another episode of our adventures through No Man's Sky. Let's check what we have. We have tons of Gravitino balls that are worth many units. Unfortunately, they're not worth many units in this star system. Hopefully in the next. We also have a lot of vortex cubes and a decent amount of gold. Let's hope that whatever lies on the other side of that black hole will be valuable. And let's hope that whatever we have currently will be valuable on the other side of that black hole. In order to reach the black hole, however, we are going to need to procure some more fuel for our warp systems. Our warp drive is currently dry. Well, yep, it is completely dry. It is bone dry. Luckily, we do have some antimatter, and that'll be really simple to just look at that. It's a warp cell now. That was actually way faster than I thought it would be. Anyway, let's charge our hyperdrive with that warp cell. We're gonna head to another star system before we start procure. Look, it's Kylo Ren's command shuttle. Nice. We'll head to another star system before we start procuring more ingredients for our warp drive. And this is the next star system on the way to this black hole. Let's go. So, once again, welcome, YouTube family. I don't know if you guys have seen Interstellar, but I watched the beginning of Interstellar recently. In fact, it was this morning that I watched it again. And Interstellar. You want a film that's going to scare you? A film that's going to make you wish you were watching a horror movie? That's it. That's the movie to watch. It terrifies me. What we're doing as a collective, as a species, what we've been doing, it scares me. It keeps me up at night. It should. It's sad, really. We worry, we get angry, we fight, we kill. Oh crap! Wasn't even concentrating. Let's head inside of this space station because we got some things to sell. Hopefully, our Gravitino orbs are worth a damn in this system. It all depends on if they're common in this system or not, if they're a commodity. But it keeps me up at night. It really does. Our planet, our species. It's sad how we fight each other. We kill each other over meaningless and petty things. As meaningless as different beliefs, different skin colors, different religions. Meanwhile, our Earth is dying. Just slowly enough where no one cares to do anything about it. Myself included. What am I doing about it? I'm doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's not even the scariest part. The terrifying thing is, it's very likely that we've already passed the point of no return. Yet, we still lack the foresight to unite. Not as peoples of Earth, not as countries, but as humanity, to put our efforts and our future into science. To look to the stars. We're not doing that. That's sad. And Interstellar is perhaps the movie that best illustrates it, in my opinion. When, can't remember what his name is, Matthew McConaughey, I'm gonna call him McConaughey. When Matthew McConaughey is at his daughter's school, and they're talking about how they changed the textbooks to be more accurate, about how basically the world's triumphs through space were all a lie. Just a bid to put Russia into bankruptcy, put the Soviet Union into bankruptcy. And they're just, like he said, instead of looking to the stars and wondering about our place in the universe, they're looking at the dirt and worrying about what they can stick in it to grow. Whoa! What is that? Don't fly away. Do not fly away. That is a fantastic looking ship. I want to check this out. I bet it's expensive. It looks fast. Looks like we're currently in Gex space. Acer! He called me Acer friend. I was never really an Acer man myself. Or Vio. And it looks like he's... No, that's not a laptop. That's a tablet he's got. Still, it looks like a... If Vio had tablets, that's what the tablets would look like. How much you want for the ship? 1.8 million units. Unfortunately, we don't have 1.8 million units, but that is definitely something that I would buy if I had 1.8 million units, because that is sharp. It's got the nose of an X-Wing. And I love X-Wing. An old school X-Wing, mind you, but nevertheless. What's this thing gonna be? Oh my goodness. This star system has awesome looking ships. Hey! That almost looks like he's got some sort of an R2-D2 sticking out of the wing. It's not. But, kind of looks like an astromech droid. Alright. Wow. There are way more of these ships than I thought. There's 3 nearly identical yellow ships in this space station alone, and there may be more coming. Now, those are actually different looking ships, but still, man. Looks like these are a dime a dozen, even though I've never seen them before. Alright, let's get out of here. There's nothing in this flea market for us anymore. Massive! Do you think there will be a DLC for No Man's Sky? Yes. I don't know, actually. There's no season pass. This is more of an indie game than a AAA title. But we don't have a season pass. And they're looking to incorporate modding support into the PC version. So I'm not sure if they're ever going to eventually support modding on the console versions, like Bethesda doing for Fallout 4. That would be really cool if they did so, but I'm thinking that we're going to see modding support on the PC version, and possibly DLC for the console versions. We're definitely going to have some updates that are going to add free stuff. For instance, base building is coming in the next update for No Man's Sky. However, it's possible that whatever updates we could get that could have been DLC will actually be free updates, which would be fantastic. I don't know if Hello Games is working to do that. I don't know if Sony is working to support that, but base building could easily, depending how deep it's going to be or how shallow it's going to be, it could have easily been a DLC instead of being a free update. But instead, it is going to be a free update, and I think that that's a great way to repay the faith and thanks to the community for all the support that they've gotten over the years that this game has been in development. So I really appreciate that they are looking to give thanks back to the supporters of the game, as it should be common with gaming today. Rainbow Six Siege is actually a great example of that. Everything that they've made for that game has been attainable with in-game currency, which is absolutely outstanding. I really am a big fan of that, and I respect the hell out of them for it. Alright, let's see what we got. We got enough space. Yeah, we definitely have enough space. What we need to do is we need to create some more warp cells. And for those of you worrying that we're not going to be streaming any more, let's see, plutonium, carbon, and zinc and iridium. Alright. So basically we need zinc, carbon, and we have a decent amount of iridium. We just need zinc, carbon, and plutonium mainly. Oh no. What the heck is this? It's some sort of a mantis crab and it's attacking us. Anyway, for those of you worried about us never returning to Battlefront, we are definitely going to be returning to Battlefront. The only reason we haven't been streaming Battlefront like in the last week and a half is because we've had, I think, 88 Battlefront streams, so he's deflecting my bullets. I don't like that. You know what? I'm going to switch to my mining laser. Alright, so it turns out that there's oh my goodness. There's a lot of these guys. That's making me kind of nervous. Luckily, they're not proficient in killing. They're actually acting like animals would. I feel like they would act like this on an alien planet. They wouldn't necessarily just balls out be attacking you with every fiber of their being. Instead, they'd be more curious. They tried to kill me. They failed. Yeah, you better run. Okay, no, don't run this way. Yes, run that way. That way. That's the good way. All right, we got some plutonium. We need some more carbon, which we can get out of these space cactuses. And I haven't really seen any zinc, but I'm sure it's on this planet. Yep. We do have zinc on this planet. Fantastic. Yeah, they've got fluffy bunny tails, yet the head of a mantis, the pincers of a crab, and the body of a scorpion. It's really a monstrosity. And we've got another type. We've got a trypophobia beetle. Oh, great. That's a hunter. This is a dangerous planet. This is a very dangerous planet. We need some more carbon. Hopefully these huge coral reefs, non-aquatic coral reefs, will be sufficient. We have 104 carbon from that one plant. So I think that we should be good on the carbon front, but I am seeing some zinc ahead of us. Unfortunately, we got some really nasty beetles coming after us. Wow, that is fast, man. Okay, that is ridiculously fast. Luckily, these guys aren't as big as they could be. They aren't as dangerous as they could be. Wait, did I see one flying? So far, the most... Oh, it's a sentinel. Oh, God. So far, the most dangerous planet we've encountered as far as indigenous wildlife goes is the Raptor Trypophobia planet. That was definitely by far the most dangerous, and it was pretty scary. Oh, great. We got a storm coming. Unfortunately, our hazard protection is... I don't want to use my zinc. Great. Well, our hazard protection is gone. It's offline. The only thing that we have that we can utilize for it is zinc, and I'm saving it for the hyperfuel. If we... Ah, crap. If we get rid of our zinc, we won't be able to... You know what? These things are real hard to hit. I'm going to fall back, and... Okay. I gotta use the zinc, unfortunately. How much does it give me? Not very much. Not very much at all. That's just great. Our shields are down. Our hazard protection is basically completely diminished again. We have more mantis fluffy-tailed crab creatures than I can count. And we also have some of the creepy beetles coming after us as well. And we still don't have any more zinc in sight. We have some exotic materials, but I don't need exotic materials, I need zinc. It's ironic, isn't it? How far we've traveled, how far we've come in this universe in No Man's Sky. Yet, we don't I gotta fall back to the ship. We don't even need or want these exotic materials right now. The only thing we want is the ability to stay alive, and zinc. Possibly the most basic element in the universe, aside from iron. That's all we need, yet it's entirely out of reach. Okay, instead of going back to the ship, I'm actually going to head inside of this, and hopefully that should provide sufficient cover until the storm actually passes. And the creatures are no longer following us. I guess they figured out that it wasn't really worth their effort. Unfortunately, with our shields completely diminished, our hazard protection diminished, our health continues to diminish, and we only have 2 health blocks left. Luckily, even though this is a derelict station, and it's completely abandoned and blasted open, the temperature is still stabilized. Sort of. Hey, Pulse Jet Tau provides increased maneuverability and longer boosts during spaceflight. Awesome. We can actually make some pretty good use of that. Unfortunately, the storm is still kicking, so that's not good. Great, shields are down again, and I'm not even sure why. Oh, okay, I didn't see that before, but I'm definitely seeing it now. We got this creepy tentacle that it's not intelligent, but it's still hostile. We gotta stay away from that. See if I can make some of these, suspension fluids. I estimate we're gonna need at least 3 warp cells for this live stream, so that's 2. And we already have, well, we just used 1, so. There we go, that's 3. Now we just need to make suspension fluid from, or electron vapor from the suspension fluid, after which point we can make antimatter, and then finally, fuel cells. Alright, we need a little more plutonium. I decided it'd be better if we just make 4. It's always better to have more than you need. And it looks like this storm is still raging. That's just great. Hazard protection's fully recharged, which is good for us. Unfortunately, it's just not going to last very long. So, in a bit to be more careful, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be staying closer to the ship. That way, if we need to retreat, which we will need to very soon, our hazard protection is almost at 50%, we'll be able to retreat with our lives. and without losing any more health. Come on, jetpack. Nice! Alright, we're currently at 25%. I just need to get to the zinc flower, and then we can fall back. Alright, let's fall back. Wait. There it is. Nice. It's actually really close by. Oh, crap. No! Oh, no! Well, hazard suit is basically offline. Our shields have diminished to almost nothing. And I didn't realize that our jetpack was completely out of charge, so we fell a decent little distance. Alright, we're still good. Therm protection has just fallen offline, and we got to our ship just in time. All we need to do now is check our inventory while our hazard suit recharges. So, for antimatter, we're going to need a lot more zinc. We're going to need... Let's just get 100 to be safe, if we can. Let's actually get out of this area. Oh, great. Everything's going wrong. This is a hostile planet, and I do not like it. It's pretty much all storms. In fact, let me double check if it's all storms. Weather is arid, sentinels are low, flora is rare, fauna is occasional. Honestly, we really should just get to a different planet. This planet is... It's terrible. It's one of the worst planets I've encountered. It's got mutant fluffy-tailed crab scorpions and weird little beetle creatures. And zinc is pretty rare. So far, we've only found 2 flowers. Hello there. This is a pretty good area. And I do see a knowledge stone, I'm pretty sure. Xenomorph T-Rex is coming for you. Don't say that, Phantom. You joke! But it could actually happen. And if it does happen, I'm going to blame you. Who am I going to blame? The person that Are these predatorial? I'm going to blame the person that expected it. It's submissive. Oh, nice. Here you go, little boy. Look at that. Oh my god, that's cute. Do you hear that noise? Oh, it's got a smiley face. You gonna follow me around now? Yeah? Where are you going? Where are you going? Ew, he's got some sort of a space udder. Well, he likes me, but... Unfortunately, he's not doing anything helpful. That's a shame. I've actually never fed one of these creatures before. Oh, I'm sorry, did I hit him? Ah, crap, I think I hit him with my mining beam. Well... We make fast friends, but we make even faster enemies. That mutant space cow ram thing is going to turn into a supervillain. Alright, let's stay on top of it. We gotta find that zinc. Beautiful, we got another flower in the distance. Alright, I estimate we need a crap ton more of these flowers. Probably 7. Well, maybe not. That's 21 zinc. Alright, we just need 3 more, and that should give us enough for our suits and our antimatter, possibly. Regardless, the storm has passed, so it's a lot safer now than it was. Alright, we've got one knowledge stone over here, and we've got another one just over that facility. Somewhere over here. Let's see if we can spot it. I feel like I'm in Star Wars right now. Well. Oh, there it is. Beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna be heading there next. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that when you feed indigenous life forms that are submissive food, whatever that food may be, whether it's iron, whether it's gek word for radiation. Great, now they can warn us. Whether it's iron, whether it's carbon. I thought that occasionally they were supposed to... It's like a dinosaur. I thought they were occasionally supposed to poop out rare items, like you guys are saying in the chat room. That is volatile, even though it's an insect eater. I'm not going to mess with him. Great. The storm has actually returned, I think. No, it hasn't. It looks windy, but the storm hasn't returned regardless. Our thermal protection has fallen to 75%. So let's get to this knowledge stone. Let's see if we can find any more zinc from there. And then get back to our ship. Possibly finding another planet, one that's more useful for our purposes. Well, actually... A lot of people are discussing some of the negatives with this game, which is a lot of the planets feel similar. I think that was on purpose. Now, if you've played this game for like 30 hours or something like that, or 40 hours, then definitely you're going to be able to understand how they made it.
where the assets were used, how they were used, and the frequency in which they were used for the most part. But there are certain types of planets that are extremely common compared to others. And I believe that's actually what was intentional, because it makes the rare planets, the beautiful planets, with really good materials and really interesting life forms, feel all the more special and all the more rare. And I think that was intentional on the developers' part. I definitely think they're aware of that, and that it was implemented because it would make the game more interesting. And also, the closer you get to the center of the universe, the more things change, the more the game becomes dangerous. You have to watch out for some of the native life forms to these different planets, because you're going to find some raptors, you're going to find some dinosaurs, you're going to find a lot of predators. Alright, we're going to take this lock out. Oh my goodness, I totally forgot. So, whenever I'm playing a game, assume that I can't see the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. I really can't. My weapon is basically completely covered by my microphone because I have a studio-grade mic. It's a really good mic, but it doesn't sound its best unless it's in front of me. And technically this isn't in front of me, but this is as good as I can make it while still being able to see most of the screen. But I totally forgot that we have a new, awesome-looking weapon. But, yeah, if I am ever missing something in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, just remember that I can't see that part of the screen at all most of the time. The computer systems in this depot are still online. Well, partially. All the systems have stalled. The warning lights blink on and off. Vaults that usually store uncommon elements, mine on the planet, have run low. I don't even have 100 carbon. Well, we gotta use uncommon elements anyway. We need Thammium 9. Okay, I think I saw some Thammium 9 out here. Let's see if we can go grab it. Oh, great. Storm is a brewing, and I think... yeah, that's Thammium 9. Alright, let's be fast. And it looks like this zinc plant is actually not regrowing the zinc. That's unfortunate. I thought it had. Alright, we need, what is it? Okay, that should be enough. That should definitely be enough. Let's fall back quickly before we take any more damage. And the more you approach the center, the more the sentinels become aggressive. That is also true. It is very true. Alright, let's see if this is what I wanted. Oh, we need 50. Oh, crap. Well, I was way off base. Luckily, we do have some more that's close by. This is probably not going to get us there. Maybe, barely. Let's see. If we're lucky, this is all the Thammium 9 we're going to need. Damn, that's not. But there are some others pretty close by, unfortunately. There goes our thermal protection. Hazard systems are offline, so we are completely vulnerable. Our shields are going to be drained from this point on, and eventually our health. Sadly, we just have 2 health blocks, so we really honestly can't afford any more damage on our health, and I'm impressed that these doors are still here. That's cool. I thought they'd actually disappear. Alright, we have enough Thammium 9. Let's do this. Nice. The production facility becomes operational. And we learned Power Reservoir, Energy Recharge Cell, High Capacity Power Gel Source, a hugely efficient device that optimizes power storage within exosuit and starship inventories, used in a wide variety of weapon and life support systems. Fantastic. We only need 75 carbon to craft this thing. I think that would actually possibly be better than just carrying around stacks of carbon with you. Alright, how much zinc do we have? There's 1 antimatter, 2 antimatter, and I think that was all the zinc. Yep. We're completely out, so we're gonna need 40 more zinc, at least. And the storm is still brewing. Regardless, we've taken care of most of the zinc in this area, so let's just get out of here, find a new area, and mine the zinc from there. It'd be cool if your ship scanners could pull up vegetative life. Flora and fauna of the planet. Unfortunately, they're not that strong. Scanners are used for other purposes. Mainly locational data. Oh my goodness, did I see what I think I just saw? I think this is an exosuit inventory slot. Yes, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, We're very lucky. Free suit upgrade. Fantastic. I'll take it. Oh, we gotta buy it? Damn, that's a shame. Well, it's still worth it. 90,000 units. Holy crap. That's expensive. Still, we have 22 slots in our inventory right now, and that's fantastic. Alright, let's find the zinc and let's find it fast. I got some bad news. I'm not seeing any zinc. This is most likely zinc, however. And the storm has cleared just in time. I can't even believe it. Ah, great. Thermal protection is still falling, and unfortunately this is not zinc, it's titanium. Which is still useful. You can sell it for a pretty penny. It's also used in the crafting of a lot of different materials, but I'm going to go back to a subject while we have some time before we reach the black hole. I'm going to go back to a subject that's very exciting, and that is the subject of black holes. I am endlessly fascinated by black holes. It's something that's possibly beyond our understanding, but scientists, bless them, they're doing their best, and I'm pretty sure that most of what I read when I was a kid about black holes is just out the window. I don't think it means anything anymore. When I was a kid, I'd always read that black holes were the vacuums of space. They were giant space vacuums. That's not the case. That's actually not accurate. They aren't so crap, we have just under the amount of plutonium we need. Yeah, we need at least 20 more. 20 more should do it. Anyway, another crab? No, that's a mantis thing. And hello, knowledge tome. We're gonna have to kill this guy before we use it. Oh, there's two of them. That's too bad. Did you see him coming up from around that stone? Thinking he's all sneaky? The Gek word for painful. If I knew the Gek word for painful, which I apparently do, if I knew how to spell it, that's what I would call this planet, because this planet is excruciating. Alright, there's not a lot of plutonium around us. Well, maybe in this... No, that's not plutonium. Those are just containers. Hello, health. Beautiful, we needed that. Unfortunately, it just gave us a single block, but, it was still worth it. There's the plutonium we need. This should be enough for us to lift off. Alright, next time we land, it's probably going to be rich with plutonium. Unless we land in an area near water. We should have a lot of plutonium nearby, and we gotta mine all of it that we can. Regardless, when I was a kid, these different textbooks would always refer to black holes as vacuums, but they're not. They really aren't vacuums. Instead, I mean, they can act as vacuums, but you have to be very, very close to them to do so. I highly recommend you guys check out some different videos on YouTube about black holes. It's really interesting stuff. And of course, it's educational, but aside from being educational, it's very interesting, and unfortunately, we're not really moving very fast. Wait, hold on. I run into this glitch now and then. If you're not moving very quickly, if it seems like you're just basically crawling along, go to a full stop as much as you can, and then utilize the pulse drive. There we go, that's a lot better. Sometimes you'll be stopped completely. You won't be able to move at all, and that also fixes the same issue. Or rather, that same solution fixes that issue, which is a completely separate issue and very different from the one I was talking about previously. But at a distance, black holes don't really have more gravity than normal objects. They won't really suck things in any more than a normal object of the same mass. And hello, what have we here? Another incoming storm is inbound, so let's be fast about this. This looks really cool. This actually looks like something from Destiny. Okay, we got two storms at once. One is an ice storm, the other is a heat storm. That's just our luck.
A strange new reality grips me. The ancient structure swings open to reveal a body encased in ice. It is a patchwork of different body parts. Its ragged beak appears to have been stitched on with animal gut. A handwritten sign of the language of the ancient traders can be seen above the body's head. A flammable isotope would most likely melt the ice.
I don't know if we should do this. It says, beware, abomination, despair.
Why should I trust them? Let's melt it.
The creature's eyes flick open, its hands leap around my throat. I force it back into the depths of the disapproving monolith. I should not have done that. I should have walked away. Looks like they weren't liars. Oh, we took damage. Well, we failed the monolith sex. Our standing with the Gek has decreased. Ancient traders, I thought they were talking about the Geth when they mentioned that. Turns out we were right. Well, that's not the thing that we were wrong about. We were wrong about the beaked creature. We should have left it alone. Sometimes we are just a bit too kind, and I'm not seeing any more knowledge stones. Wait, actually, we got one here. There we go. That should... the Gek word for stupid, yep. Well, I actually learned that a few moments ago. Alright, those are all the knowledge stones. Now we just have to go after this zinc. Unfortunately, our thermal protection is offline, but I can't recharge it. Because if I recharge it, I'm going to lose the zinc that we're working so hard to collect. I think that was all the nearby... Wait a second. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to have to use some of the zinc. Ooh, titanium. Fantastic. I completely forgot about titanium. Crap! Well, we were just a little too late and I forgot about those creatures hitting us. I pushed it a little too hard. A little too far. Luckily, we have a very close save. Whenever you get out of your ship or get in your ship, it auto-saves and creates a restore point. So, that's... Oh, wait. It remembers our decision, doesn't it? Oh, damn. I got really excited for a moment because I thought that we could re-choose. We could make up for our mistake with that beat creature. But the game was too smart for me. Even though it saved when we got out of the Pelican, I think it saved again a second time after we made our decision with the Monolith. Let's make sure to pick up our grave. Wait, does it pick up automatically? No, it doesn't. It picks up automatically in space, but when you're on land, you have to retrieve it manually. So, let's continue to repair our hazard protection with titanium. And titanium is fantastic for repairing hazard protection because it just takes a very small amount to cap it off. Alright, here are the knowledge stones. We got 2, and we also have a beacon. Alright, one of the storms is clearing. It's good for us. I see some titanium in the distance, but no zinc. We do need more plutonium, however. Luckily, there is some plutonium nearby. It's amazing how many different types of storms there are on this planet. I did see a heat storm, didn't I? I'm not imagining that. Pretty sure there was a... yeah, heat storm and an ice storm on this planet that we've experienced so far. Regardless, scraps this plutonium, I'm gonna scan for zinc, and our time on this planet is basically over. Yeah, that's a zinc flower. Perfect. This is it, guys. We finally get to leave this place. You know what? This place is worse than those Sentinel planets. It may not be as dangerous as those Sentinel Gravitino ball planets, but it's more annoying. And honestly, it doesn't have a lot of riches. It has some gold. We've seen many, many gold spires, but we haven't seen any Gravitino balls. It's devoid of Gravitino balls, and on top of that, I feel like the storms are actually more hazardous than the storms in the Gravitino ball planets. Oh, man! Always watch your step. Oh, great. That's fantastic. Night temperatures are extreme. The storms are extreme. The wildlife is extreme. The only thing that's not extreme is the loot. Alright, let's get back to the ship. We have enough gold. We haven't even been able to get rid of the gold. Most of the systems we've been to, the gold has just plummeted. Oh, you know what? I just realized something. Conversely, yes, the riches do increase the closer you get to the center of the universe. But... is that empty? Weird. Empty grave. Yes, the riches do increase the closer you get to the center of the universe. However, the riches are worse. They're worth less and less the closer you get to the center because as riches become more abundant, they're not valuable. So, that's unfortunate for us. We have found many Gravitino orbs, yes, and we'll find many more, but they're practically worthless. Alright, let's leave. Actually, let's make the antimatter first. It's possible that we may run out of iridium. We already did. Well, currently we have 2 antimatter. Yeah, we can't leave the planet just yet. Well, actually, yeah, we can. Let's get out of here. The next star system will land on a planet. And that is where we are going to get the remaining Iridium that we need. Or we could just go to a space station and get it there. Regardless, we're done here. Finally. What a beautiful star system. I'm a fan of the purple ones as well, but this one, I don't know, something I really like about it. You know what I probably like about it? The colors of the sky, the colors of space, match the colors of most of the planets. From orbit, most of the planets have a greenish hue. I'm hoping they're selling Iridium here. There's not a single planet that isn't rich in Iridium, or at least moderately rich in Iridium in this entire universe. So it should be pretty common. Let's hope it is. I don't remember if we saw Iridium here when we checked about 30 minutes ago. The only thing that I do remember is that the stock prices are terrible. The stocks for gold, I think silver, and definitely Gravitino balls and Vortex are just abysmal. Let me double check, see if it's changed. Actually, gold's not bad. Gravitino balls are still poor. Suspension fluid is not bad, but we're not selling that. We're not selling zinc either. And I'm going to keep the titanium. Alright, let's see if we can purchase that Iridium. It's a little pricey, but it's going to be worth it. Just buy everything they have. Beautiful. I don't think it's going to be enough. Well, you know what? Actually, no. Well, oh, we need electron vapor. And for that we need plutonium. Well, are you selling plutonium? I'm glad I didn't leave the store yet. We're not out of the woods. We need a few more items. Cool. Unfortunately, not very much, but it may be just enough. Really, I'd be happy if we could just get one more warp cell at this point. Alright. Bought all the plutonium and all the Iridium. And we still don't have enough. 41 out of 100. Do we have anything in our ship? No. I think that it doesn't matter how far away you are from your ship if you're on a space station. It only matters how far away from your ship you are when you're on planets, but on a space station, for some reason, you can freely trade from your ship to your exosuit inventory, and vice versa, no matter what. It's a pretty cool looking ship. Got some massive thrusters. Regardless, we can get to the next star system easily enough, so let's go ahead and do that. Now that is cool. I didn't realize this before, but the thrusters that you have on the back of your ship actually make a huge difference in terms of the appearance of your trail. I like that wide, flat trail look that ship has. Unfortunately, I don't like the look of the ship just as much as I do the trail, but I believe we have 2 stops. Yeah, we have 2 stops before the black hole. So, let's load up that warp cell. Hyperdrive is charged enough for at least 1 jump. I don't know if it makes a difference, the size of the jump. Let's see if we can make it all the way to the black hole. No, definitely not. I feel a little cheated though, because the distance between this star system and the next one is pretty great. It's pretty grand. Yet the distance between the next star system and the black hole is very short. I feel like they should give us a little bit of a reimbursement on our warp cell. Maybe warp cell doesn't have to do with the distance traveled so much as something else. I don't know. It's a game. It's not a simulator. Speaking of simulators, 2.5 in Star Citizen, I would estimate is going to be released to the public or to all backers within the next 2 weeks. So we are going to be streaming the Spaceship Sim very soon. You can't go in space without the ship. You would die. And you can't go EVA either. Extravehicular activities are prohibited. You don't have a spacesuit that can withstand the vacuum of space. So we have at least 3 planets in this system. Oh, that's a moon. We have at least 2 planets. Oh man, didn't even see this one. It looks pretty good, actually. Does it have a moon? No, it does not have a moon. Alright, let's check this one out. It's the closest. I don't know what space we're in. I'm gonna make a guess, and I'm gonna say it's Corvax space. I wonder if the color of this system has anything to do with what creatures actually inhabit it. The color of this system is red, or more of a maroon, actually. And I think that I've seen the most Corvax in red systems as compared to others. Looks like we've got another rocky planet. It's pretty uncommon to actually find a lush planet with a lot of vegetative life. Rocks are by far what populate the universe the most. Interesting terrain. It's moistureless, apparently. But that kind of looks like an ice cap. It's not an ice cap, though. Floor is full, fauna sparse, sentinels typical, and weather moistureless. Damn, this is a cool looking place. This is wait, no, this is not Is it Corvax? Crap, I can't tell. The architecture varies slightly from species to species. We'll be able to tell for sure by the look of the door. If it's a round door, it's Gek. If it's a square door, it's either Corvax or Vakeen. This is Corvax, yeah. If it's very square, like this, it's Corvax. If it's very square but opens sideways, from side to side, then it's Vakeen. Looks pretty pleased to see us. Scholar entity E.coli. Rare silicate is apparently what he wants. Can't understand what else he's saying. The electronic life form. I wonder if these descriptions are going to be present when we learn the complete language. The electronic life form flits between 3 separate replication experiments, all of which appear to be going wrong. Smoke rises from a source vault, and the manic entity's fingers are a blur on its control pad. It looks at me with wide mask lights and increasing alarm. Its casing lamps suddenly settle on my exosuit inventory, and it outstretches a metal arm. Alright, he needs rare silicate. I don't have any rare silicate, so I'm gonna have to come back to you on that. But, judging by the look of this place, I'm assuming that we're gonna have a galactic trade terminal within. No. We have an encyclopedia, but we don't have a galactic trade terminal in here. And that's a shame. I was hoping that we could go ahead and get rid of some of our gear. Alright, let's get out of here. Wait. Check out the observatory first. The facility is more like a science lab than an observatory. The stargazing equipment sitting amidst a sea of advanced experiments. Perhaps the former custodian was too preoccupied to notice the beacon blinking invitingly on the screen. If I can work out the code, I'm sure I can decipher its origin. 4366-3664-6643. This is the code. Yes! Success! I punch in the numbers and the beacon reveals the location of a new location within the cosmos. It's not within the cosmos, though. It's within the planet. It's on the planet. Ooh, you know, it'd be awesome if we could somehow drill. Oh, okay. This is what I want as a DLC for this game. I want some space buggy that's got a drill mounted on the front. Or maybe some space tank. I guess that'd be more appropriate with a drill mounted on the front that you can utilize to just burrow deep into the planet's Earth. Deep through the mountains. Almost being able to go all the way to the planet core. Or being able to go all the way to the planet core. And then if you reach the planet core, somehow something science fiction-y happens or science fantasy happens and the core causes the planet to explode. That would be pretty sweet. And if you could... Obviously, you would die if that happened, but if you could somehow leave the drill on autopilot and point it the right way, then you could just hop in your ship and eventually, with however amount of time it would take for it to reach the planet core, if it doesn't run into anything that stops it, it would eventually reach the planet core and the planet would just implode in on itself, or, you know, something cool. Are those space mantises? Hold up. I'm pretty sure I just saw space mantises. Yep. Yes, I did. I don't know if they have bunny tails, but if they do, they're probably dangerous. So, just be aware that there's probably predatory life on this planet. This game needs multiplayer, and you should be able to kill the aliens that you talk to. That's violence. I think the Corvax would be very interested in jotting down a few notes on you. I'm actually glad the game is a multiplayer, but if you are looking for a multiplayer version of this game that's more serious and more of a simulator, I think you'd like Star Citizen or Elite Dangerous. But either way, I would definitely recommend that you check out Elite Dangerous, which is also on Xbox One, or Star Citizen, which is PC exclusive. Elite Dangerous is not in PlayStation 4, as far as I can remember. I'm pretty sure it's an Xbox One exclusive thanks to the Microsoft Preview program. But, Star Citizen most likely will never be on consoles, ever. Maybe the PS4K or the Xbox Scorpio, but I tend to doubt that. But Elite Dangerous is really cool.
Ashes of the Dragmentum. I hear the distant voices of the Corvax entities who once worshipped here. As they whisper, words written in my own language grow faintly on the monument. The echoes want to be heard. The glowing words state, "Ehu, before the dark times, the entities of the Corvax worshipped the Sentinels. Through them, the Convergence found the formula of enlightenment. Now we calculate our own path, seeking to further enhance the mind of all that is one towards an understanding of the Atlas." So they say that they're calculating their own path, but they're really on the path of the Atlas. My knowledge of the Corvax Convergence increases, and we learn their word for entity. Man, we're learning a lot of Corvax words. I think maybe we've learned more Corvax words than we have learned... Is this Iridium? Than we have learned Gek words. Yes! We have Iridium. And apparently we have another ruin. Alright, so we need Iridium, we need Silicate, Rare Silicate, and... What else do we need? We don't need any more zinc. I think we just needed Iridium. Let's see how much Iridium we need. Thamium, now we can get that in space. Plutonium. Plutonium and Iridium. And that's it. Well, Plutonium, Iridium, and then Silicate, and then we're good to go. If we can even remember where we came from. You know, let's get back in our ship and see if we can remember where we came from. It's possible that we can't or don't. Oh, great. I mean, you know, let's just mine some plutonium real quick. We've been doing the absolute bare minimum mining for plutonium, and it's bit us in the butt a few times. We've been trying to save time by not mining plutonium and just mining the absolute bare minimum that we could, but that's actually, ironically, taking more time. You want something done, do it right, and do it right the first time. This cave should definitely have abundant resources of plutonium. Plutonium, I don't know why, but it's very, very common in caves. And there we go. Yes, there we go. Excellent. There's got to be more where that came from. Let's just remember where we came from. That way we don't get lost. Unfortunately, our flashlight isn't working. Probably because it's daylight outside, even though this cave is dark. So far, not finding any creatures, so I'm just gonna count myself lucky. Nice. Unfortunately, I don't see any signs of rare silicate. It would be fun if it wasn't on this planet, and instead you had to go to another planet to find it, and then you had to come all the way back for delivery. Although that would basically just be a fetch quest, so maybe that wouldn't be too cool. I don't know, I flip-flop between what would be cool and what wouldn't be cool when it comes to fetch quests. Seriously though, we can't get lost. If we get lost, we actually don't have a plasma launcher right now, so we cannot burrow a hole through the side of this mountain to get out. We would be stuck. I mean, we could repair our plasma launcher, but I don't know if we have the appropriate tools to do so. Alright, I'm not seeing any more plutonium. Let's get out of here. So, we don't go right, we go straight, and I think then we turn right, and then we go straight, and we don't make any more turns, if I remember correctly. If memory serves me. Yeah, this should be the right way. Have you ever played RimWorld? I haven't played RimWorld. Actually, I haven't heard of RimWorld. I should Google that. If somebody would be so kind as to tweet at me just so I don't forget, or just in case I do forget, that would be awesome. Oh, great. Is this the place we came from? I don't remember going through those spires. Yep, here we are.
I recognize these stalactites and stalagmites, and there are the ruins. Perfect. Alright, we got a decent amount of plutonium. We should be able to top off, possibly, top off our launch thrusters. I don't know if we have enough plutonium left over for antimatter purposes. It's possible, but it's not likely. Alright, let's check it out. Nice, we have a little more. We may have enough. Let's see how much plutonium we have left. 66. We don't have enough plutonium. Not even close. We need like 200 to 300 plutonium. And I'm actually not seeing where we were previously, so I guess we can forget about that rare silicate unless we were here, but I don't think so. I think this is a brand new platform that we're at. Nice. We stuck the landing. What is this? Holy crap, that thing is humongous. Oh, the mouth is nasty. Temperament is unconcerned. Great. Gender prime? What the heck does that mean? Looks like this thing is fairly friendly. It's got some weird neck flaps and some sort of a sucking apparatus that is its mouth. Unfortunately, it's not letting us get close. So you can feed it. Can't seem to feed this thing. Wow, that is huge. Pretty quick, too. See if we can get on top of it. Nope. Its properties are strange. Instead of hitting it, we actually just go through it. But unfortunately, I cannot feed this. It's kind of cute in a way. It's nasty, but it's cute. Where's the entrance? I'm gonna get inside and see if they have a trade terminal. We haven't actually checked the prices of Gravitino balls in the system. Once we sell all of our Gravitino balls and our Vortex cubes, we may have enough currency. Here's an entrance. We may have enough currency to actually purchase a new starship. Not that there's anything wrong with our current starship, but I know how you guys like bright, shiny new objects. And I did too. Yes, they have a trade terminal. This guy is significantly less happy to see me than the last one. Alright, what are the prices? Cross your fingers! Still not good. Still not good. Geknip isn't a good price either. Well, that's a shame. What about our starship inventory? What do we have there? Thamium 9 is a damn good price. 4.6 plus. It's just not worth very much as a whole. Alright, well, nothing there. Experiment E80. How many slots does it have? 15 slots. It's 98,000. We have 16 slots, so we have a better multi-tool. However, the combat capabilities are slightly increased. Mining are... Wait. I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, we have better slots, but they have better mining. We have slightly better weapons, and we have better scanning, so it's definitely not worth buying that. Also, we have a cooler looking multi-tool. Let's see what this guy has to say. Yeah, I'm not understanding any of that. If you could just, like, wave with your hands or something. The lights in the electronic lifeform's mask are dim, and its voice quavers. It looks to me with mild interest, but it seems in truth as if its mind is already elsewhere. Upon seeing me approach, it slowly reaches to open the trade vault at its feet for me, but it is too late. The entity's lights fade out for a final time, and that's all that's left is a satisfied electronical hiss. Satisfied? Well, we need Thamium 9. And we need 50. We could go out and get it, but I'm just going to buy it because that would be faster. If they have any. Yes, they do. Only 42 units of it. Or, yeah, just 42. That's a shame. Did we have any in our suits? We had some in our ship, right? Yeah, we have some in our ship. Alright, that should be sufficient. If he's running out of power being shut down, why is it a satisfied electronic kiss? What's going on here? And why is he going to the vault? Let's re-energize him. The disappointed lifeform blinks back online and reluctantly opens the trade vault for me. Standing with the Corvax is decreased. What the hell, man? Gave me a shilling shard. What, did he want to be offline? Oh, was he going to sleep? Maybe, I don't know. What the heck is this? Okay. That's weird. Temperament is cautious, and its gender is exotic, so it's not violent. I'm gonna go name this thing. I have the perfect name for it. There it is. Rhysonant Urkinusimo. No, that's not what it is. I know what it is. And it is not that. It's Spore. It looks exactly like Spore. Also, we have a lot of unclaimed units. Nice. How many units did we get from that? 25,000 units received. For 0 work. Holy crap, you seeing this? It's a humongous tower of iridium. Alright, let's stay focused. We don't need any more iridium. We need more plutonium. And we also... There's plutonium. Speak of the devil. We need more plutonium. We need more zinc. We always need more zinc. I'm not going to proactively search for it, however. And I think that's it. Regardless, I'm going to focus on plutonium right now. All we need to do is build antimatter. As soon as we get some more antimatter, we can leave this place. We haven't gone through the black hole just yet. We've been preparing about it. But actually, thank you for reminding me, because I have some more things I want to talk about with the black hole. Is this silver? Oh, that's aluminum. That makes sense. Well, technically, yes. It is silver in color and appearance and luminosity. It's like there's a lot of aluminum on this planet. Ironically, I've found plenty of planets with gold, but not a lot of planets with aluminum. Oh, got some more zinc and some more dinosaur-looking creatures. That one with the spikes looks alpha as heck. And everything on this planet is pretty friendly. So far, we haven't found anything that's hostile, even that crocodile spore-looking creature. Which I do not understand in the least. I don't even understand how that thing survives. What does it eat? Well, we did have information on its diet. I just didn't read that part. I was too preoccupied with its appearance. Which I guess is very judgmental of me. Alright, that's enough zinc. Now we just need plutonium, because we have 24... What was that? 161. Yeah, we have enough iridium. Can actually create the electron vapor now. And antimatter. Nice. Carbon. Wait, no, we don't need more carbon. That's suspension fluid. For this, we need more plutonium. Just as I thought, basically the only thing we need now is plutonium. And ironically, one of the most common substances is becoming the most uncommon to find. The game must know. Left 4 Dead had something really interesting. It had this AI called the Director. Basically, what the Director AI would do, it would watch how you played the game, how anyone in the lobby played the game, and it would react accordingly. It would try to adapt. It would do its best to adapt to your playstyle, making it harder for you. However you played, it would throw curveballs at which it would assume that you'd be poor to adapt to, curveballs that you wouldn't expect, and it would do its best to kill you, and I think that's really awesome. No plutonium in sight. We're also going to need some plutonium to lift off, so... What is that down there? That's Thamium 9. And we got another creature. Looks like some weird dog with 2 tails. I'm going to check that out, actually. Oh, no, there it is, top of the screen. It does look like a weird dog with 2 tails. It's like some sort of a Great Dane. Damn. Alright, we're not going to be finding any more plutonium over here. Yeah, that's more Thamium 9. This place is a bust. Alright, let's fall back. Honestly, we could just forget about it. And once we pass through the black... Yeah, let's forget about it. We don't need any more. We have just enough, and once we're through the black hole, we can procure more plutonium. We've also explored this planet. We've seen some of the life forms. We've taken in the natural flora, the fauna, and discovered some ruins. Discovered the past of this world. There's nothing more for us here. Let's get off. Oh, speaking of black holes, which is what we're going to now, the next star system is, I believe, the star system with the black hole. I always believed that black holes are vacuums they are not vacuums. That is not accurate. And I'm wondering if... Because when I was a kid, that's what my science books would say, and I had the latest science books. I had good science books. So I'm wondering when those discoveries took place. Must have been in the last 10 years, last 15 years. That's really interesting to me. Regardless, we are entering a black hole. However, whoa, space crystal kind of looks like kryptonite. However, obviously it is not possible to enter a black hole and survive in real life. No one's done it, no one's come close to doing it, no one's tried to do it. We haven't even come close to black holes themselves. Which is probably for the best. I wouldn't want to do that. It seems extremely risky. Hello, warp cell. What do we need for the next one? More Thamium-9. Hell, may as well gather some more. We're already here. Apparently that's iron. Doesn't look like iron, looks like emerald if anything else. We don't need more iron though, so I'm just gonna leave that where it is. Is it iron? Is it all iron? That's the nickel, unfortunately. That's probably some more nickel. Oh, that's iron. Great. That's just great! We need the basic asteroids. The basic asteroids. That's what contains Thamium-9. You know what'd be weird? So, Thamium-9 is common in asteroids, right? You can easily find it in asteroids. However, what if the galaxy has such a great population, or the universe has such an enormous population that eventually, we run out of space, or rather, we run out of these asteroids that contain Thamium-9 eventually, because it is it is finite. There's not an infinite amount of asteroids in No Man's Sky. Well, obviously there is, because it's a video game, but still. Something to think about, something fun to think about. Alright, let's get out of here. Whoa, we cannot leave just yet! Hostile ships are on approach. They're probably scanning my ship. They're warping in now. Yep, they've scanned my ship. They know that I contain valuable cargo, and they're trying to get that valuable cargo. They probably know of a system where Gravitino balls are worthwhile in selling. I wish that I could interrogate these guys, but we can't. We just gotta take them out. And there's an awful lot of them. Unfortunately, I can't see them. Wait, there we go. Unfortunately for us, shields are down. I think we just took one of them down. Critical damage has been taken. I need to recharge those shields ASAP. Luckily, we have plenty of materials to recharge those shields. Shields are back online. Where are these guys? There we go. I've got them now. They're in my sight. Another ship is almost down. Holy crap, that's a lot of them. Enemy ship destroyed. Our shields are almost out. I'm going to recharge them real quick. Shields are back online, just barely. We need some more shields. Shields are fully charged. We're not gonna let these thugs intimidate us. We just keep circle strafing them and keep on firing. They won't be able to hold up for much longer. We've got a heavier ship than they do. They've got light attackers. They're fast. They're agile. Faster and more agile than our ship is. But they're also weaker. Their armor is thin. They're paper tigers in every sense of the word. That one's almost put to dust. Shields are back down. We need some more titanium in there. Shields are back online. Our health is only 3 blocks. We will die soon if we don't do something about this. We gotta single these guys out. There we go. Just attack one at a time. It's difficult to discern which ship is which when all their icons are the same. We just gotta watch which ones are smoking, which ones aren't. Shields are back down. That's actually really serious. Whoa. Oh, come on, man. I was having fun. Well, that's how she goes. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. And sometimes it just crashes. Wait, is there an update? Ah. I'm not connected. I don't think the update's been applied yet. However, I checked last night, like late last night. Well, let's get back in there. I would have survived, though. We only had 3 left, and I could have fully charged my shields once more. And one of them was smoking anyway, so that would have been gone for. The less ships you have, the easier it's going to be. And I don't mean in terms of damage. In terms of damage, yes, the easier it will be. But the most dangerous things about these ships is not the damage. It's the fact that you can't keep track of which ship is which. And also that they're highly maneuverable, unless you have a highly maneuverable ship. But they are highly maneuverable, so they're going to be difficult to hit. Well, they're not difficult to hit. They're easy to hit. They're difficult to pinpoint. They're difficult to pin down. Especially whichever one you want to target in the specifics. Regardless, you're probably going to be able to head straight for the black hole. But I want to talk about entering a black hole. Obviously, in No Man's Sky, they're used as a mode of transportation. And often in science fiction movies or TV shows like Star Trek, that's how black holes are portrayed. They're like wormholes. Intergalactic freeways is what they are. Well, that's not what they are. That's very far from accurate. Oh no. No, okay, we still have everything we did. Oh, thank goodness. Oh. It should save the game whenever you get in your ship and whenever you leave your ship. For a second I panicked. I thought that it didn't save when we got in our ship, but I think it did. I think we're okay. As soon as we get into space, we're going to find an asteroid, and here they are. After which point, we're going to lock onto the black hole system. We're going to head into that system, and we'll be good to go. That's all we need to do. Very simple, very quick. We're not going to be wasting any time. Nice. That's enough. Let's create that warp cell and let's get out of here.
Product constructed. Technology recharged.
Beautiful. Ready for warp space. There it is. The system with a black hole, 31 light years away. But, on being able to enter a black hole in real life, whether you survive entering a black hole depends on the size. Well, to be more accurate, it depends on the mass. Because when black holes grow, they grow more in mass than they do in size. They grow slightly in size, but mass is where it really counts. Reaching the singularity at the heart, or even the event horizon, which is the point of no return. Once you reach the event horizon, there's no going back. Anyway, reaching the singularity or event horizon of a small black hole will be difficult because the smaller it is, the more dangerous it is. You'd probably die well before you reach even the event horizon. However, if it's a supermassive black hole, you travel in one of those for quite a bit longer. And if you go far enough, it's theorized by scientists, if you go far enough inside of the black hole into the singularity, the heart, which is what we're looking at right there, okay, so that's the singularity of the heart, and then around it is that's the event horizon. But it looks like this is a very small black hole, so we would probably die. It's not that small, actually. It's a pretty decent size. Regardless, if you were to look backwards and forwards while inside of a black hole, scientists believe that you would see everything that ever has and everything that ever will fall into the black hole. It would allow you to see the entire history of that point in the universe simultaneously, from the Big Bang stretching off into the distant future, which of course for you wouldn't have happened yet. We just don't know what happens at the heart of the singularity of a black hole, however. We really don't, and that noise is triumphant. Holy crap, there we go! But, the closer you get to singularity, you'd be able to see the back of your head looking forward. Honestly, I can't even wrap my head around it, but the truth is, we just don't know what happens at the heart, the singularity of a black hole. We don't have that kind of information, and we probably never will. Humanity may die off as a species before we figure that out or find that out, which is sad because I don't think there's anything more fascinating to me than black holes. I really don't know if there is. A lot of people have described black holes as an onion, and this is the system that the black hole's taken us to. Wow. But yeah, you wouldn't even be able to reach singularity. You would die before you'd be able to see anything that I just described, if it would be even perceptible to the human eye. Some of that should be perceptible to the human eye, but a lot of it wouldn't be, of course. This is a dark-looking system. Look at this. Those asteroids look like gunmetal. What's this planet? Fuxion Gibi Chekolish. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not even going to try. What is this? Enkarma. Well, that's easy to pronounce. So far, I spot 2 planets. And there's a space station. So, 4 planets total, actually, because there's a planet behind the large planet that's closest to us. I'm going to go ahead and try for that space station. We're going to hop inside and see what we can sell. But if you guys are interested in more information on black holes, there are plenty of videos on YouTube on black holes, plenty of documentaries, plenty of informative short clips, and it's really interesting stuff. So, there's one in particular that was really cool. Obviously, there's a 46-minute documentary. It's the first result if you search black hole on YouTube, and I recommend checking that out, definitely. But, what would happen if you fell into a black hole? I watched that today, and it was glorious. That's the exact title of the video if you guys want to check it out. What would happen if you fell into a black hole? There's also the question of what would happen if there was a black hole very close to Earth. Now, if there's a black hole where our sun was, instead of our sun, again, black holes aren't, we're in Bikini space. Black holes aren't giant vacuums, so all the planets wouldn't be sucked into the black hole. But if there was a black hole very close to Earth, it's speculated and argued by many different scientists whether this is or isn't the case, but that what you would feel would be almost like a slight stretching. You'd feel good at first, almost. Because, you know, your spine would be elongated a little bit, but it would continue to be elongated. That process would not stop, and oh my god! Gravitino balls are lower in this planet, I mean in this system, than they were in the last system, so we're still gonna have to wait on that. That's unfortunate! I don't like that! Anything else I can sell? Come on, just give me something. We sold the Geknik. I think we sold the Geknip, so that's something, but this... Maybe we should just sell them. Still, minus 2%? No, minus 2% is a lot. We'll just wait until the next system. Unless we see a really cool ship. Alright. I know that's similar to the Pelican, but this oh, you know what? Never mind. It doesn't have any wings. If it doesn't have wings, it looks silly. But the color scheme was really cool. This one kind of has wings, so that makes it a lot better. Like I was saying. It would almost feel like a kind of good stretch at first, which is horrifying. But I'm not a scientist. I'm definitely not. I don't have in-depth knowledge of physics. However, maybe some of you guys out there, especially if you're young viewers, maybe that's something that you'd like to get into. Maybe that's a career that you'd like. It's definitely something that we need. We don't look to the stars enough. Our planet's dying. That's a fact. Scientists have known this for quite a while. It's just that we don't do anything about it. Partly we don't know what to do about it. That is true. But, I mean, there's more that we could do. We're currently, like, just doing diddly, which is unfortunate. Regardless, we need more scientists. We need more scientists. I know. I'm not a scientist. What am I doing? I'm not doing anything. I'm guilty. I'm as guilty as anybody. Hell, I use plastic bags. I'm super guilty. But going back to what we were talking about, we're gonna go find a planet, by the way. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out into space, I'm gonna jot down all the planets, and you guys are gonna choose which planet we explore on the other side of this black hole. So, get ready. These aren't the planet names, so don't worry about it, but I'm gonna type them out, the first 4 letters of each planet. You guys are gonna vote on which planet you wanna see. And then we're gonna go to that planet. Well, this is a moon, technically, but I'm still gonna count it. Bula! Bula bula! Alright, Fuxi. Damn. These are good names. We got Enka, Bula, Fuxi, and what's the final? E.coli. I don't know if I want to go to this planet. Regardless, these are the planets in beautiful Comic Sans font, so start casting your votes, guys. I'm going to tell you them in just a second. In the meantime, I'm going to mine some stuff, and I'm going to go back to what I was talking about with black holes. So I was talking about that black holes don't really increase in size. They mainly just increase in mass, in gravity. They're incredibly heavy. Extremely heavy. Heavier than you can imagine, but I'm going to try to help you guys imagine it. There's an analogy that I really like, and the analogy is, it really illustrates how heavy and dense they are. Imagine the Earth, alright? Now, start to crush the Earth and keep crushing until it's packed so tight that even atoms themselves collapse. When the Earth crushes down to just 2 inches across, that is the density of a black hole. It would be the size of a golf ball. yet Earth would still weigh the same as it did at its normal size, and it would also have the same amount of gravity. That is the density of a black hole. Obviously, they can be denser than this. They can be less dense than this. And of course, the denser they are, the shockingly less dangerous they are, in a way. In a way. The smaller they are, the less dense they are, the more dangerous they are. Wait, did I say... Okay, the more dense they are, the less dangerous, in a way. The less dense, the more dangerous. There we go. Almost got all topsy-turvy. Regardless, I'm gonna start tallying the votes. Looks like most people are voting for E.coli. Let's see. For E.coli, we have 73 votes for Bula. We have 46 votes. For Fuxi, we've got 48 votes. And for Enka, we have 41. So it's pretty split, actually. But E.coli definitely has the most votes out of all of them. I'm actually shocked how even Bula, Enka, and Fuxi are. Alright, planet E.coli, here we come. If it's a terrible planet, I'm sure you guys can come up with a few names. But, if it's a beautiful planet, obviously those names aren't going to work. Where to go? Where are you? There's Bula. Oh no, E.coli has disappeared. Oh, there it is. No, that's Fuxi again. Damn it! Wait, is this it? There it is, E.coli. Did I already pass over it? Doesn't matter. We're in Casing Pulse Drive, and we're gonna reach it in 1 minute. T-minus 1 minute until arrival. Sweet! But, yeah. Black holes, guys. Look it up. It's really cool stuff. Also, if you haven't seen Interstellar, check it out. It's not the most scientifically accurate movie, no. Some things are fairly accurate, but it's a really interesting movie, and the spirit is right. I even liked the ending. A lot of people didn't like the ending. I'm not going to go into spoilers, but I thought it was good. It was a good movie ending. It wasn't a good scientific ending, obviously, but it was a good movie ending, and it was satisfying. I was lucky enough to see Interstellar in IMAX in theaters, and it was an incredible experience. Unfortunately, theaters have kind of been ruined for me. I have a projector, and the theaters around me are not IMAX or even LIMAX. Where I used to live, there are a lot of LIMAX theaters, but there are no LIMAX theaters here. And what a LIMAX theater is, it's a clear image, but it's not an IMAX screen at all. IMAX screens are enormously large. You'll know when you see an IMAX. The building, the theater, is going to be multiple stories high. Anyway, we've just got standard theaters around us, and is this what E.coli looks like under a microscope? Whoa! We've got some sort... Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I'm checking this out. I'm checking this out. Holy crap. This is a pretty awesome planet. We've got enormous stones just floating in midair. Regardless, Ew! Oh, Jesus! It's split! It's got, spikes! I don't know if those are spikes. They kind of look like fleshy spikes. It's like a cross between a beetle, a mantis, and a stegosaurus. Actually, that's not a mantis, is it? No, that's a crab and something else. I don't know what that head looks like, but it looks nasty. What is that? Oh my goodness. Ah. Oh, they're so fast. That makes them look so disgusting. Oh, great. This planet's irradiated. As beautiful as it is, it's deadly. So, E.coli may definitely fit. I don't know if I'd describe E.coli as beautiful, however, but look at these massive floating stones. I don't even know what to call them. Floating mountains? They're not that. I thought of a good name for it. Ew. Wait, was it a K, this E.coli planet? Yep, E.K. O-L-I. There we go. E.coli. Does that look alien enough? Oh, crap. I should have added some dashes in it. Or some foreign characters. Yeah, I should have added some dashes. I try to make, my planet names look as alien as possible so it doesn't break immersion too much, but that's okay. It's descriptive, at least. It looks a little alien, you know. K's and eyes are very alien looking. The word gassy is not very alien though, but it is accurate at least.
Let's see what we can find here.
It's not lush. It's barren and rocky. Although it does have a lot of plant life. It's barren and rocky, but it's definitely unique from these large structures that somehow defy gravity. Weather's reactive, sentinels relaxed, flora abundant, fauna carbon. Common. Well, carbon's common. Definitely common here. I like this planet though. This is actually pretty sweet. And it's got some really weird, tentacly palm tree things that are actually pretty nasty. I almost want to land a pelican on one of those monolithic structures that are floating above us, but I would never be able to get back to it if I fell off. I could call my pelican to me, but we'd have to travel quite a distance before we could find a beacon that would do so. Currently, the PC version doesn't play this well, which is unfortunate, but it has some problems. They're going to fix the problems. I'm assuming. I don't know why they wouldn't. Deeble Dale. Deeble Dale. I don't know why, but that's really fun to say.
Radiation protection stabilizing.
Oh, it's a little orb. It's like a space snow globe. But without the snow, it's just a hologram. So it's actually worse than a space snow globe? There's nothing in this place as far as those concerned. Maybe the next one. Wish I could interact with this satellite. Wonder what the satellite's interacting with. Hello there, multi-tool tech.
Stabilizing.
Was that an ancient Viking? Kinda looked like them with their snouts and everything.
Hey! They got feathers.
Avian. Alright, we're gonna have to shoot them out of the sky, because they're not standing still. They're probably incapable of standing still. Oh god, I feel bad for this. Oh no! Did it fall off a cliff? Whoa! Sort of. Not completely. We should be able to find its carcass. I don't know, I'm not seeing its carcass anywhere. Now I just feel bad. Now it's needless. And these are actually intelligent creatures. Now they're going back to the Council of Avian Birds to kill me.
In bird terms, what I just did was a dick move.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that carcass actually.
Damn, I wanted to study him.
Alright, I'm gonna see if I can... Oh, well, let's just kill another one. I'm sorry, I'm a bad person. Oh, here it comes.
And in the daylight, perfect.
Oh, crap. Oh, are they attacking me? Oh, Jesus. I don't know if they're attacking me or not. I was hit by something.
Units received.
It's a Lilithap. Its temperament is active. It absorbs nutrients, and it doesn't have a gender. This was an adult one that we killed. It doesn't look like it has eyes. It has nostrils, that's for sure. Alright, they're flying pretty low sometimes. I'm getting a little nervous here. Wait a second. Did you see that? What the heck? What are these? They look like S's. This is getting weird. This is getting real weird. Alright. Let's go back to that beacon. We need to make a bypass chip. We're going to utilize the bypass chip to bypass, quite literally, we're going to use the bypass chip to bypass. We're going to get into this beacon to find out what exactly is around us. So, as soon as I am displaying options of things that we can choose, please start voting off of those options and just type it out in full. That way I can easily search it and tally the votes. I don't know what the options are going to be, but they're going to be in the bottom right hand corner. Please type them out as soon as you see this. Monolith, Colonial Outpost, Transmission, or Shelter. Please start casting your votes. Unfortunately, I cannot leave this screen. I gotta leave it open, otherwise the bypass chip will have been wasted, so I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna leave it open. I'm gonna let you guys vote for a minute, or 30 seconds or something like that, and I'm gonna read the chat room. Oh man, I wish we found a dragon. I think there are dragon-like creatures that you can find in this game. We definitely haven't even scratched the surface in terms of unique life forms. We found a bunch of different life forms, but we have so many more that we haven't seen on stream yet. T-Rex looking guys. We haven't even seen those. We haven't seen large flying creatures. We've seen small flying creatures. We haven't seen a lot of large creatures in general. We've seen one very large creature, and that is it. That's it. There's many, many more where that came from. It's just that they're uncommon. You're meant to spend a lot of time in this game, which is cool, because you're definitely gonna get your money's worth. Honestly, even if I wasn't streaming it, which streaming it makes it so much fun. Even if I wasn't streaming it, I don't think I would get bored of this game for 50 hours, I would say. I like exploration, I like games like this, and I'd probably take my time to get to the center of the universe. But we're gonna get to the center of the universe before too long, don't you guys worry about that. Alright, let's tally the votes! So, for Monolith, which I'm assuming is gonna win, we got 73 votes. For Colonial Outpost, we got 24 votes, and for Shelter, we got 63 votes, and for Transmission, we got 20. So, Monolith definitely won with 73 votes. Shelter was a close second with 63 votes. Monolith, here we come. Searching for ancient alien artifacts. Good job, computer. Computer has detected an alien monolith. You know what would be really cool? If maybe one every 500 to 1,000 monoliths, something varying like that, one every 500 to 1,000, contained a really badass and rare alien technology, a rare alien artifact that you could augment into your ship that would change the appearance of your ship, or something you could augment into your multi-tool, or maybe even a multi-tool in of itself that works differently because it is alien. But again, it's exceedingly rare because it's only every 500 to 1,000 monoliths that actually contain ancient alien tech, but it would make it really special. And definitely would have to, like, play a big part in terms of its appearance. It would need to change the appearance of your ship, change the appearance of your multi-tool, etc., etc. And I think that would be great. Like, maybe it was some sort of an organic technology, you know? And maybe it wrapped itself around your multi-tool halfway up your arm, and it was just this alien vine. That would be awesome. Alright, I'm going to park way halfway between the Monolith and a bunch of plutonium that I just saw, because I believe we're not going to be able to take off until we get some more plutonium. Now, I know I saw some plutonium nearby. There's thallium. There's plutonium. I'm going to see if I can repair our plasma tool, because we need that plasma tool. Oh, great. Ew, these things are disgusting. Neckletail? Neckalontal. Neckalontal. Where is it? There it is. Oh, cool. We can repair it. Nice. That's actually perfect. Alright, wait a second. I actually think I'm gonna see if I can upgrade this real quick. I don't know if I can. What do we have? Rebound grenade. We don't want rebound grenade. Do you have anything else? Grenade propulsion. I do want that, but we don't have anything. We need crystalline. Okay, so let's look out for crystalline and damage radius. Ooh. Oh, man. We want this. Emerald and plutonium. Emerald and plutonium. Let's not forget that. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm seeing a lot of what looks to be plutonium below us. So I'm just going to go ahead and burrow straight down toward that plutonium. Just open up the earth. Wait, is that your... Yeah, that's practically directly below us. I guess we're making a staircase. Oh, God. Kind of the right angle. There we go, that's better. Could you imagine if the impact radius was, like, way wider than this? How big would that be? I really want that emerald and plutonium, guys. We need that augmentation. I'm gonna turn the flashlight on. It's a little too dark down here. And we have reached the cave. But not the plutonium. Crap, that's actually a lot further than I thought it was. Well, I guess we're going for a little tiny hike, a little tiny trek. And we have 3... Wait a second. Yeah, we got 3 monoliths nearby. That is insane. How far away is this thing? 59 seconds on foot, so that's actually really close. Oh, crap. Charge is depleted. You know what? Hasta la vista, baby. Ha! You didn't stand a chance. Oh, this little baby's coming after me looking for revenge. Goodbye! Oh my god! Damn, this gun is beautiful. That Citadel's probably pissed. I'm disrupting the natural life forms of the planet. Oh great, these guys really don't learn, do they? Is he scanning him? He is. Well, I'm glad he scanned him, because now you won't be able to. Oh great. Why won't you die? Jesus! Yo, that was a direct hit and he's still not dead. Oh great, there's more. Okay, that looks like their leader. It's got weird little horns on it. Oh, these things are creepy fast. He's trying to cut me off is what he's trying to do. I just want to get to the plutonium. Where is the plutonium? Is it below us? There it is! It is definitely underground. It can't be that far away because it's pulling up on our scanners, so let's just see if we can find it. I wonder what the homeworlds of the races you encounter looks like. Yes! Guess me too! What does the Gek homeworld look like? What does the Bikini homeworld look like? It's gotta be very harsh. You know what? It's probably not very harsh. It's probably like our world. Because if it was harsh, they probably would have focused on, I don't know, living or like furthering their species instead of fighting. Oh great. Oh great. They probably had a good planet, good lives, you know, and they're just bored, so they just started killing each other like dicks. Oh crap. You know what? Forget it. Forget it. Shield is down. I need to get that guy out of here. What I need to do is I need to burrow a hole in the side of this mountain so I can just, like, hide, you know? That's all I need to do. I just need to hide from these guys. If I'm able to hide inside of a hole, my shield will recharge. Well, it's recharging right now. Very slowly, however. Oh, crap. You know what? Let's make that hole right now. Damn, these guys are relentless. Yes! Yes, go in the hole! Oh, crap. Do I have anything to recharge you? Plutonium, great. We're gonna waste our plutonium now. Oh, I hate you. I hate you! And I hate this planet! The shot that I killed him with also buried him. Beautiful. Alright, let's get to shelter. Hopefully this is enough. Yes, it is. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to reinstate hazard protection systems and our life support systems if they need to be reinstated. It looks like hazard protection is actually recharging by itself, so we don't need to worry about that. However, life support is kind of low. I don't want to use plutonium on it, so I'm just going to mine some carbon and that should be fine. Speaking of carbon, yeah, we also need that mining beam, so let's just go find some. We also have an Yellowstone that's nearby. I can't get to the Yellowstone just yet because obviously it's a little dangerous out here with a radiation storm. I feel like I'm in Fallout, but like Mothership Zeta DLC V2. Okay. Life support systems are at 50%, but I'm not going to utilize the carbon to regen life support. Instead, I'm going to utilize the carbon to regen my mining beam, which will make it easier for us to get more carbon. It'll be easier and faster. Check this out. Nice. Nice. Now we give ourselves even more carbon. And it's basically a snowball effect from here. Holy crap. Humongous, weird tentacle palm trees are at our disposal. Now that's more like it. Alright, let's reinstate life support systems. And use the rest on our mining beam. Beautiful. Alright, where's that plutonium? We're getting close. And the storm's clearing. Great. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to find that monolith, or stone, which was close by. Afterwards, we're going to continue just drilling down into the earth, looking for plutonium. Where the heck did that stone go? Got all topsy-turvy with that damn crab mantis following us. Yeah. I'm not seeing it. Something attacking me again. You guys are probably like, Massive, it's right there! You dum-dum! You blind! No, I'm not blind! I'm really not seeing this thing. How far did we run from that creature anyway? Actually, my real name isn't James anymore. For those of you guys asking what my real name is, I legally changed my name to MassiveG. No space, but the G is capitalized. Also, a dash. Wait, actually, no. There wasn't a space. There was a dash between Massive and G. The G is capitalized, however, still. But the underscore is silent. So my full, like, first legal name is Massive underscore G with a silent underscore. Where? Okay, there's the ball. There's our ship, and we came over here. We made a big crater. There's some plutonium. Nice. Nice. Wait, did we see a stone, or was I imagining things? Maybe we saw a structure that looked like a stone. I don't know. I'm gonna mine this plutonium. This is what we came here for anyway. Sweets! A little more, baby. Come on. Excellent. Yeah. I don't know. I'm questioning more than the location of this stone. Now I'm questioning reality. This is a pretty high point. Let's just survey the surrounding landscape and see if we can see it. It's very easy to mistake these things for stones if they're in the right shadows. I'm wondering if we did that. Here's the hole we were making. Oh yeah, scan. Let's just scan. It's a lot simpler. It's not pulling up. I think we're in... That's the monolith. I think we're in range for it to be scanned. Weird. Okay, maybe we'll just find it again by accident. I'm gonna go back to what we were doing, which is burrowing to the center of this planet, looking for more plutonium, which is almost below us. We have plenty of carbon now, so we don't have to worry about ammunition. Nice, we're heading straight for it. So far I'm not seeing any caves. It's gotta be really low. But again, it is within scanning range, so it's not gonna be that far. You know, I hope the next planet we go to doesn't have a bunch of killer mantis creatures. I'm a bit tired of killer mantis crab creatures. We're getting there. The icons appear as if they're a lot closer. I could just be imagining things. Damn, this is a very, very long descent. Wait! We're here. Whoa, that looks like a Snigglet. Snigglet in real life. Jesus. What the heck is this thing? Whoa, don't come near me. Temperament is amenable, so I guess it's friendly. Invisnus Tedesre. Okay. That's a mutant Snigglet. I don't care what you say. That is disturbing, to say the least. I'm gonna go name it. And I'm gonna make it look alien if I can. There we go. Difflet. I almost spelled Difflet. Oh, crap. Yeah, that's alien enough. Mutant Spore Snigglet. How many units did I get for that? Not nearly enough. 1,500. Are there more? There's just the one. That's it. Everyone's going, kill it. My God, kill it. Kill it with fire. Ah, you know what? Fire. It's just not enough. He's friendly though. You know, let me feed him. Let me see if it takes some food. Here you go. Here you go. Some food, little guy. Oh man, it's a snake Snigglet. It's a Snigglet with the head of a snake on it. It's happy. Well, I guess that's good. At least it's not gonna kill us, you know? I guess that's... I guess that's something. Alright, let's get this plutonium. That's what we came down here for. That was disturbing. That was very disturbing. Ooh. That's a lot of plutonium back here. Yes! We hit the mother load, boys. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are ready to go back to that monolith. I think this is all we needed. Well, we also need some emerald. Unfortunately, I don't believe there is emerald on this planet. I think it's devoid of emerald. But, wait a second. It found something. What did you find, little guy? You found more plutonium and this. Oh my god, you found gold! Good job, Diglett! You know what? That's a good Diglett. Who's a good little Diglett? Who's a good little Diglett? He's so happy. He's so happy. Who's a good little Diglett boy? Yes. You're a toughie, aren't you? Yeah, look at your little roar. Yeah, you're very good at roaring. I wish I could turn my light on to see him more, but we can't. We can't turn our light on. You know what? He's cute. He's cute. He helped us out. He's okay in my book. Hey, whoever helps us find gold is a friend of mine. Now, where do we enter? Oh, no. Diglett, I'm gonna need your finding skills again. Where we come from, guy? Where we come from? I'm not seeing it. Oh, great. It should be in the direction of one of these monoliths, I think. More plutonium, fantastic. Wait, I'm seeing there's an open... No, wait, that's not an opening, is it? That's not an open... Wait, is it? Yeah, it's an opening, I see daylight. Whoa! Diglett! Diglett, help! What is this? We haven't seen this one yet. Oh, damn, it's fast. Alright, we just gotta kill it. Kill it! Kill it! What is this thing? Bomboster. Fluctuating temperament stock. Ew. Oh, that's disgusting. It's got a stalking temperament. Hey, it's another little Diglett. Mutual spore Diglett. That's not what I meant to say. It's a mutant. And I don't see our entrance. That's fantastic. I don't know if we're getting out of this place the way we came in. We can find another way out, I guess, but I'd like to go back up that tunnel. Let's see how deep that tunnel actually went. Is this more gold? Please be emerald. Ah, it's more gold. That's good, though. I would love it to be emerald. We need emerald, and I don't know if there's any emerald on this planet, actually. Most likely, it is devoid of emerald. When we're flying around, and when we're back in our ship in the atmosphere, the, whatever this place is called, we'll check. If we see gigantic golden domes, it's either going to be gold, or it's going to be emerald. Man, there's just so much plutonium, I can't even believe it. It's a good thing we actually went into this cave. I was just going to stick to the surface, but that would have been a bad idea. I told you guys, plutonium, you can always find it in caves. It's a great resource. Surely, our tunnel can't be that far off. Alright, so, there's a monolith in that direction. Okay. What type of monolith is that? Okay, so that's that monolith. That's 1 minute 20 seconds away. That's gotta be the one. So, it should be around here. Are we doomed? We're doomed. I could just take back the plasma launcher, and
Weapon charge depleted.
well, I don't know if we have enough carbon for that. We could just dig our way back out. It would technically be the same way we came in. Alright, I'm gonna take one more look, which is conveniently the other exit of this cave. The water exit. And if I can't find it, we'll just utilize the water exit and get out of here. You know what? I got an idea. I actually think that our entrance was close to this this question mark over here. I can't turn my flashlight on, unfortunately. You should be able to turn your flashlight on or off at will, but you can only turn it on at night. Doesn't matter if you're in a dark place or not. Nighttime is the only time for flashlight time. No holes. And to be perfectly honest, this entire place is starting to look the same to me. I don't recognize what parts we were in, what parts we weren't in. Hell, I don't even know. What is this? Ah, it's National Hole Formation. Hello, little Diglet. Yep. I don't even know where the exit is. I think the water exit was over here. I don't even know anymore. There should be some sort of a marker system in this game. Breadcrumbs, if you will. Oh man, that's a lot of plutonium.
Weapon charge depleted.
I'm seeing some daylight. Alright, we've got an exit. I don't know where it is. I don't know where it's gonna put us, but I'm gonna check it out anyway. I can't even believe how much plutonium we have. It's honestly ridiculous. Yeah, that is daylight. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We've got a way to the outside. I feel like we've been in jail this whole time. Okay, that is very tantalizing plutonium, but we can't take it. Our inventory slots are full. We've already taken too much. Oh man, it's good to be out. Wait a second. Which monolith is this? 2 minutes, 51 seconds away. Wait, is that where our ship is? Oh man! Well, we traveled quite a distance. Was there a monolith in this direction? No, there wasn't. There was a... Hey! Guys, we found it. I think that was the knowledge stone that we were looking for and searching for. Was it? I think it was. Well, damn. There was a reason why we didn't find the tunnel that we made. If we found the tunnel, we wouldn't have found that knowledge stone. So, it turns out that all this was just really for the best. Destiny manifest, you could say. Alright, let's get back to that monolith. I don't think there's any more knowledge stones in our area. However, let's be cautious and careful not to fall back into the cave. Whoa, yeah. And there is the entrance to the cave that we don't want to fall inside of. Let's go around it. Unfortunately, our jetpack does not have enough fuel to get us from one side to the other. Maybe from this side of this corner. Yeah, perfect landing. Alright, we're about 2 minutes out. 2 minutes and 50 seconds out.
Incoming storm.
But that'll fly by. It's also close to our ship, so we have to go this way anyway. Please call it a Snigglet, snake and a diglet. That is so much better. Snigglet. Oh my god, that's adorable. Dylan Price. That's a great name, man. Thank you for that. Unfortunately, we already named it. Can I rename it again? I can't rename it. Wait, can I? No, I can't. Damn. Well, that's no Snigglet. We're gonna remember Snigglet. Also, thank you for the donation, Dylan. Snigglet, do not let me forget. Next time we find something that's as adorable as that snake diglet, and hopefully it's got the mouth of a snake, the body of a diglet, is gonna be named Snigglet. You know what? Next best thing. I'm gonna name the planet. Oh crap, we already named the planet. I'm gonna name the system. Hey, that's even better. Snigglet. The system of Snigglet. The little creature that allowed us to live. What? Hold up. Oh, you hold on a second here. Hold on, look at this, look at this. Where did I name this thing? Nasty ass whale bristles. Advanced hell. Those are just fine, but God forbid we name it a Snigglet. Really? You know what? I'm bypassing that. I'm just gonna make it look more alien. Snigglet. Snigglet will prevail. Snigglet always prevails. What? What? Okay, what part of Snigglet is profanity? Okay, we gotta watch our profanity. Let's put it somewhere else. Snigglets. How about that? There we go. Profanity filters, they never work, do they? They never ever work. I didn't see that one coming anyway. Yeah, how could we have seen that one coming? Snigglet. Who knew that was a bad word? That doesn't make any sense. Profanity filters, my goodness, they always fall short. They never do what they're intended to do, and instead, they censor words that have nothing to do with profanity, yet they let nasty ass just go right on through. And you can't say that they didn't catch nasty ass because there was no space, there was no break, because there is no space or break in Snigglet. And I don't even know what part of Snigglet was profanity, but it was all one word. So how exactly did Snigglet not pass but nasty ass did? It's baffling is what it is. Alright, we're almost back to the Monolith. You know what? I'm just going to take my ship over there. We got plenty of plutonium. We don't need to worry about fuel. It'll just be faster this way. I guess you could say we literally are rich enough in plutonium where transportation and saving time is more important than saving resources.
Are we the elite of No Man's Sky?
It just may be accurate.
Radiation damage detected.
We also need to get back in the ship because we're taking radiation damage. Inside of the ship, we're going to be able to recharge not only our hazard protection, but also recharge our shields. Initiating landing sequence. Landing area not clear. It was clear. Alright, let's try this again. Excuse me, Mr. Monolith. And right there. Right there. There we go. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and refuel our launch thrusters.
Sweet. Recharge. Technology recharge.
What secrets of this world lie at the base of this monolith?
Storm clear.
The keen word for absent, which is exactly what they are on this world. Next time you find a blob creature, call it Grimer or Flubber, please. I loved Flubber. I loved that movie when I was growing up. Shit, I miss Robin Williams. That turned dark.
Infantry.
Next blob creature we find. It's gonna be named after that beautiful, fantastic Robin Williams movie. Flubber. So it shall be, Dylan Price. So it shall be. We should also name a kind creature after Mrs. Doubtfire, which is another great Robin Williams movie. Isotope Thaws Vakeen.
I am trying to read the glyphs on the ancient monument when I feel a strange chill. A layer of frozen gas suddenly coats the monolith from bottom to top. It's so cold that I can see my breath inside my helmet. There's one small gap in the crystal ice, and I feel convinced that I could feed some of my mind elements through it so they can come into contact with the monolith behind.
Isotope. Let's do an isotope. Maybe it's warning us not to use an isotope. Who knows? It's very possible that it's warning us not to use an isotope, and that's why I mentioned isotope, but I'm gonna do it anyway. A keen word for blob! Well, what do you know? Maybe that's actually gonna prove useful for us. Maybe it's gonna be like, isotope blob! And blob means bad? Maybe?
No free slots in ship inventory.
I found a planet with massive amounts of pods that contained albumin pearls, and besides it was a space station that bought them 50,000 units. I'm rich now. Nice. You're very lucky. The closest we found to rich was Gravitino orb planets. That's where we got our riches. Unfortunately, it wasn't 50k a piece. It was like 25k a piece, and it was extremely dangerous getting them. The frozen gas melts in the atmosphere. I am rewarded.
Is that a good thing? Is that gas good for the atmosphere?
What were we rewarded with? Our standing with the Vakeen is increased, and we learned the Atlas word for creation.
And we got a Vakeen effigy and a car ride sheet. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Also, I feel like Atlas words are very important to learn. I feel like that's possibly the most important language in the universe. It's not the most common, by far. We haven't heard anyone try to speak Atlas, but maybe at the center of the... Oh, crap. Maybe the center of the universe, you speak to the Atlas, and maybe that's actually a bid to get players to explore more instead of just like rushing to end the game as quickly as possible by going to the center of the universe as quickly as possible. Maybe the more words that you learn of the Atlas, the higher chance you have of something or other. Not sure what. Maybe we should follow these guys. Wonder where they're going. I like that ship in the middle. Well, I like all those ships actually. Where are these guys headed to? I'm assuming that they're heading to a shelter. They're not using their pulse drops, so they're going to be moving very slowly. They're going to be traveling for a long time. Alright guys, it was nice to tag along with you, but unfortunately, I got a jet. We're in a hurry. So we can catch up with them. Yeah, we're starting to catch up with them, slowly but surely. Beautiful! Yeah, I don't see anything but ocean. I don't know where those guys are going. Anyway, let's go back into orbit and head to the space station, see if we can... I think we already tried to sell our gravity into orbit. Yeah, we already did. They're not a good price. We probably have to go back, like, 10, 12 star systems before we would actually find a star system that has for a good price. What's this planet? Alright, I'm going to try one more planet and see if it has emerald on it. I believe we had 3 other planets and a moon. Or 2 other planets and a moon. Looks like that's the moon, isn't it? Can't tell. This is 2 minutes 40 seconds away. This is 3 minutes 50 seconds away, but I think that this is more likely to have emerald, so engaging pulse drive. 1 minute 38 seconds. Alright, for the 1 minute and 35 seconds, I'm going to be reading the chat room, doing some shoutouts. What are your favorite Star Wars movie? Currently The Force Awakens, but the close second is either Empire Strikes Back or A New Hope. Shout out to Liam McGinty. Shout out to Ramos DaCosta. Shout out to Ricky Goodwin. Shout out to Human. Shout out to TJ Pitts, Atomic Eamon. Shout out to Charlie Reeves. Shout out to Allison H. Shout out to Vero Mithril. Shout out to TJ Pitts, Mac Attack. Shout out to Ben Messenger. Shout out to Ahmed Too Cool. We also got shout out to The Beach. Shout out to the physical. The Fisk-So. There we go. What's your favorite scary movie? It's a good question. I have to say it's The Babadook or Sinister. I really like those. Shout out to Red Dragons 157. Shout out to Byhas B. Actually, no, he was a troublemaker. I can't shout him out. His message was deleted. I take that shout out back. Shout out to Anita. Shout out to Ricky Goodwin. Shout out to Unknown. Shout out to Rick Ashman. Shout out to Harry Warren. Shout out to Fluffy Pigeon, Ben Messenger. Shout out to Sella. Shout out to Tony Greed. Shout out to Smoked Falafels. Shout out to Pizza. Shout out to Scott Talks. Shout out to Lady Plague. Shout out to Brennan G. Shout out to Anubris Kepler. Shout out to Cutie Connections. Shout out to Brady's Cookie Show. Shout out to Aiden. Shout out to Jasler Sport and Gaming. And that is the end of the surprise shoutouts. We usually only do shoutouts at the end of the live stream. And honestly, okay, so I almost don't make me regret doing shoutouts that's not at the end of the live stream. Shoutout requests do not result in shoutouts. I do it randomly, very rarely, outside of the end of a live stream, but it's almost always at the end of a live stream. Specifically, like, that is the time that is for live streams, that is set aside for live stream shoutouts. Not any other point. Any other point is really random. So, don't spam the chat asking for shoutouts, please. It's not how a shoutout system works. It's not how any of this works. What do we have here? Little tiny landing platform, huh? This has to be populated. Looks like it's... yeah, it's definitely populated. Barren planet. Weather, droughty. Sentinel standard. Flora, sporadic. Fauna, typical. Oh no. Oh no, it's whale bristles again.
Inventory full.
Apparently it wants to give us something, so it can't be all bad. Do you have anything? Yes! Excellent, we need to sell some stuff. Thank you for having a galactic trading post. Let's see what the price is on the flea market for what we got. That's a good price. Damn good price. Oh yes! Finally we can sell our Gravitino balls! We could sell suspension fluid as well, but I'm not going to be doing that. Oh yes! Thank you for finally letting me get rid of these things. Looks like that's just about, yeah, that's just about the only thing that's worthwhile selling in our inventory right now. We could sell the titanium for a good price. I'm going to do that. Yeah, it's just minus 0.5%. That's not too bad. May as well sell the iron. That's easy to get, and we don't want that taking space. Alright. Let's talk to Mr. Whale Bristleteeth. Oh. Nasty. Vakeen high. Apparently he's high and he has a weapon or he wants a weapon.
The warrior is young and looks terrified. Military orders for an upcoming operation fill its terminal screen. When it sees me, its eyes widen, and it drops to the floor on its knees. Proffers its multi-tool up towards me. I guess he's offering it as a means of me helping him get out of it? Its yelps sound pleading. The fear in its movements are more than apparent. It's so on edge, it doesn't seem aware of the security cameras that surround us, watching its every move. I think we should help him. The young conscript makes preparations to abandon its post. Silent cameras record its act of disobedience. This has 15 slots, so I don't think it's better than ours. Maybe we shouldn't have aided him in deserting his post. He's a deserter. That's unfortunate. We made a bit of a mistake, and it's not even worthwhile because his multi-tool isn't better than ours. We have 16 slots, he has 15 slots. I'm going to decline this multi-tool. Damn. I decreased our standing with Vakeen for absolutely nothing. Oh, that was selfish of me, and I definitely paid the price. Let that be a lesson. Don't decrease your standing for temporary gain. It's just not worth it. Is this the same thing? 15 slots? Yeah, it's the same gun. Crap. There's absolutely no reason for us to betray the Vakeen like that. We should have done it. Massive, there's a fun little glitch where if you constantly keep going through a black hole, it's a rare chance it'll take around 2 minutes and teleport you to a different galaxy.
Really, constantly keep going through a black hole. It's a rare chance to... I don't know if that's a glitch. I think that's the game mechanic. Because if you go through a black hole, it's a loading screen that's about a minute, 2 minutes long, and then it teleports you to a different galaxy that's closer to the galactic center. Oh. Ew, he's got mandibles that almost look like arbiter mandibles, but not quite. And then he's got eyes around the base of his chin. Oh no, this is an officer. He's gonna be pissed. He knows what I did. Interloper, Vakeen. And that's all I got.
The warrior's nostrils flare in hope and expectation. A holographic image showing military plans appears around us. On one side of the battlefield stands the creature's own warrior race, and on the other, the robotic sentinels. The warrior demands that I point to one side or the other. I am definitely with the Vakeen, not with the sentinels. The sentinels, I don't trust them. They're galactic police force. They've shot my ass off multiple times. Yeah, I'm pointing to the warriors, unless he means what my, like, which one my enemy is. The warrior nods and grunts, shows appreciation by handing me tribute. Interesting that the Vakeen, it looks like they're actually going to war with the sentinels. I thought that the galaxy was very accepting of the sentinels, but it looks like that's not the case. I wonder what Atlas thinks of all this. I wonder where Atlas stands. I believe Atlas is with the sentinels, but I'm not sure. We'll find out eventually. Computer, show me the secrets of this world. Got a distress call. 12624 12720. Nice. Signal coordinates discovered. Beautiful.
And once again, our standing with the Corvax is increased. So we don't know what this is going to reveal necessarily. Ooh, an encampment! That's exciting. Alright, let's go check it out. How far away is this encampment anyway? 13... Oh, it's a crashed ship. That's not an encampment. 13 hours away. That is quite a distance. Before we leave, I'm going to check out this final outpost. It looks like this is definitely a military installation. We've found conscripts, we've found officers. I'm wondering if we could possibly find a general in this place. That would be really cool. I would love to join them in a battle or something like that. That would be awesome, man. Space battle, land battle, doesn't matter. I would fight Sentinels night and day with these guys. He looks serious. Captain. That's pretty high up. Captain Rudo Gwen. I think he calls me a warrior. And, well, he says warrior twice, then he says weapon. The warrior seems furious with itself. It slams its multi-tool onto a nearby surface and pulls the trigger again and again, but nothing happens. It doesn't work. All weapon systems look functional, but their end result is nothing more than a hollow and empty click. The life form howls in self-loathing. I know your pain! That's me, IRL. Things shouldn't go wrong with my setup, but sometimes they do, and it makes no sense whenever something goes wrong. It's just nonsensical. By all accounts and purposes and appearances, it should be working perfectly, but it doesn't. What does he need? Does he need thammium? I'm gonna... Common isotope, uncommon isotope. I'm gonna say he needs common isotopes, because I'm assuming he's gonna be out of fuel for his multi-tool, and common isotopes like carbon, for instance, can be used as a energy source for your multi-tool, but I don't believe that you can use thammium 9 as a source of fuel for your multi-tool. So, let's get him some carbon. What do we have? We have thammium 9 and carbon, but yeah, you can't use... Just as I thought. You gotta use carbon. I'm gonna give him carbon. Can you name a planet butter or 420 MLG if it has a lot of colors? You know, oh crap, oh crap! The Keen, help me! I'm being attacked on two fronts here. Are you kidding me? Well, that dealt with that. What the heck is this? Ah. Life support system's offline. We got some fixing up to do. Speaking of butter, we actually named a planet Dabbity Dibbity Dabby Dab Dabs, which was very fitting because it was a gorgeous planet. You'll actually be able to see that in one of our earlier No Man's Sky live streams. Of course, whether it was butter or, you know, if it was more of a shadow-like consistency, who knows? Dabbity Dibbity Dab Dabs really covers both accounts, doesn't it? This thing is disgusting. Ugh. I hate these stalks. Advocap. I don't know why, but I like that name. I don't like this creature, though. He's stalking and he's a scavenger. Oh, man. Cherub's talking about Mass Effect. I want Mass Effect Andromeda to release yesterday. I can't wait for Andromeda. I hope you guys are excited about it. I hope that's what you're talking about. Because I'm excited about streaming Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. It's a big undertaking. Should we do that? I really want to stream all 3 Mass Effect games before Andromeda comes out. Because I've never streamed Mass Effect on the channel. I've played all 3, of course. I haven't finished the 3rd one yet. I've finished the 1st and 2nd one over 10 times each. Actually, literally, I'm not exaggerating. I've finished them each over 10 times. It's my favorite game series. Alright, Captain. I think I got what you need. I got all of what you need. The warrior's ammunition is partially replenished. It barks a thank you. You're captain, and yet you don't know how to refill your gun? Maybe he does know how to refill his weapon, yet he just didn't know how to express it to us, you know? Okay, this looks really cool. You seeing this? Damn, that's pretty. I love it. Reminds me of Tron. Oh, it's another observatory. Alright, 3987-9873. 7398, definitely. Is it always the bottom one? Is that what it is? Because I'm not choosing it because it's the bottom. I'm choosing it because that's what makes sense with the numbers to me. But it's always the bottom one that makes the most sense. It's weird. It would be cool if... So there's a live stream delay in all live streams, right? I can make the delay lower if I want to, although it'll make it a little more difficult for people with weak internet connections to watch me live. I can make it lower, I can make it more responsive, but it's still not, it's not instantaneous. It would be great if live stream technology was to the point where instantaneously you guys would, crap, that's a V2. If instantaneously, when I said something, you guys would hear it, and there wouldn't be a delay of, I don't know, a minute almost, or 30 seconds. Because if we were streaming MassiveG, you guys could help me on every single decision. You know, we could make it a viewer live stream, but it would take way too long, unfortunately, because we would have to wait like 30 seconds to a minute for every single decision in the game. And there are a lot of dialogue decisions in that game, in all the games. Where's that encampment? Which one's closer? 13 hours. Ruins. 13 minutes. Alright, we're gonna concentrate here. I got a bit of a plan working and cooking on the back burner. What we need to do is we need to reach the ruins first. We need to search the ruins and see if we can find anything of use. After we extract everything of value from the ruins, we go back into orbit, leave the planet, leave its atmosphere, and then we utilize our pulse drive to jump. Oh, are these underwater ruins? Possibly. It's either on land or just off land. Anyway, we need to pulse jump to the ruins or the crash ship that's 13 hours away because it's far, far away. It's too great of a distance for us to fly. It would take too long.
Weather warning. Incoming storm.
No, that's just great. That's just my luck, too. These ruins are actually underwater. Okay. Slam the ship. We've encountered underwater ruins before, but we haven't been able to find them. I'm guessing that the ruins are in a cave, so let's be cautious not to give up right away. You know, I just realized something. We actually have a technology that will allow us to breathe underwater. I'm going to see if we have it near us. Or if we have, the prerequisite crafting utensils or, ingredients. Where is it? I don't remember where it is. There it is. Iron. Iron, great. All we need is iron. I'm glad I checked. Nice, more gold. Alright, so let's find that iron, and let's get down to that cave. Unfortunately, there is a storm going on right now, so it's a little bit dangerous to be out here. You know what? I think there's iron underwater. There it is. Beautiful. Didn't even have to travel very far. Crap, this is taking a while. Almost there. But, yeah, we have seen 2 ruins, at least, that were underwater. And one of them was offline. It was off-stream. I wasn't, streaming that one, but I couldn't find anything at the basin, you know. There was nothing. There were no caves that I could see. I thought it was a glitch, but when we didn't find anything on stream, you guys made sure to point out that it wasn't a glitch, and I just missed it somehow. Let's get down there. So, I'm guessing that it's not glitched out, and we should, like, beyond a shadow of a doubt, be able to find these ruins. Maybe on the other side of this mountain, or this underwater hill, we'll be able to find something. Oh man, no. See, this makes me wonder if I was right, if it did glitch out, those 2 ruins that we found, and it wasn't in a cave, it wasn't hidden, it was just gone for whatever reason. So look at this. It's just like the ruins we see on land, but underwater. It's kind of an Atlantis situation we got going on here. At some point, this was on land. Strange writings from upon the stone, revealing secrets from the time of the keen ancients. How I understand them, I do not know. The strange writings that form upon the stone say,
Herc foresaw the weakness of the Vakeen warrior kind. The star ascent of our noble race was blocked by the weak-minded sentinels.
Weak-minded sentinels? I don't know if they're weak-minded. I mean, they are subservient, but they're technically of a greater being, so to speak.
9 times, 9-fold, Herc commanded. We would have our vengeance and dash the metal demons against the rocks of damnation.
The Vakeen warriors do not like the sentinels. However, it seems as if the Corvax don't share that thought. They don't necessarily like the sentinels, but they do seek understanding of the Atlas. And on the other hand, the Gek, I don't think that they actually have any problem with the sentinels themselves. I'm really curious as to why the Vakeen warriors hate the sentinels so much, when the rest of the races just don't seem to mind them. Are the Vakeen warriors I thought the Corvax were the smartest, but I think that they may actually be the smartest race in No Man's Sky. They're seeing what no one else will, or at least they're being honest with themselves, which no one else has the courage to do. They are warriors after all, so maybe that's what it's all about. Just being true to oneself. Something to think about on our long journey through the Sea of the Stars. I'm curious as to when we're actually going to reach the center of the universe. We've taken, so far, 3 shortcuts to the center of the universe via 3 black holes. And we're probably going to find more black holes. And of course, you guys are probably going to be voting to utilize the black hole and utilize the shortcut instead of another option. Which means we're probably going to, I don't know, get there within 3-4 live streams. I remember people saying, people that tried to get there as fast as they possibly could, that it took 10 hours to reach the center of the universe. I'm wondering how long it's going to take us. Because we're not necessarily trying to get there as fast as we can, but we are taking all the necessary shortcuts. And it's not like we're doing a bad job of navigating the system. In fact, we are navigating the system at a pretty fast rate. Aside from utilizing the black hole in the last No Man's Sky adventure, we traveled through 10 different star systems. And that's a pretty big number. Alright, T-minus 30 seconds out. Oh, wait a second. Someone said there's a new ship at the distress call. Whoa, what distress call? I don't remember seeing a distress call. Was there a distress call? Ha! I don't know. I can't figure that one out. Oh crap! Damn it! Damn it! Now you got me panicking. I really don't want to miss a new ship. So far we've seen mainly the same variants of other ships. You know, just different wings, different tail fins. But we did find. The last ship that was very different that we found was, I think 2 streams ago, so I'm really itching for a brand new ship, like a ship that we haven't seen before. Something the likes of which is completely unknown to us. And now I'm just racking my brain thinking of when I could have missed it. Like a completely different ship or a ship different from ours. Now my mind's just preoccupied with where that distress call was. Thank you for that donation, Dylan. I'm donating now just to say hi. Hi, Dylan. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. That's nice of you. That's really nice of you. Is this a ship? No, this isn't a ship. Technically, this is a stress call. Wow. A little bit, but this isn't a new ship. We've seen this kind before. However, it looks pretty sweet. I do like the look of it because it's got these weird little turbine things, which I feel wouldn't help it in space. It would aid it to hover, but you don't really want a ship that looks like a plane in space necessarily, because aerodynamics doesn't really matter. You can use that space far more wisely than making it aerodynamic. You can make your ship literally like a ship. It's more like sailing than it is flying. The cockpit is adorned with the trophies of dead creatures perched on every available surface. At the controls sit a 10-year-old hunter, its body and face lacerated. The dank smell of blood assails my nostrils as I fight back the nausea. The black box reveals the pilot was attacked by something whilst in flight, but it's unclear what. I could strengthen the warning beacon in the cockpit, but it would leave me vulnerable to attack. I think we should do it. What do we do? Do we send out a warning signal or do we search the ship for life? If you guys want a warning signal, type signal in the chat room. If you want to search the ship for signs of life, type signs in the chat room. I'm going to tally the votes after a minute or two. And in the meantime, I'll just read the chat room. But, cast your votes now, please. Signal or signs? Oh, the crash ship. We did see a really cool crash ship a couple streams ago. This is the first crash ship we've seen in a while. However, and this is a distress beacon. Yeah, that's completely correct. For some reason, I thought it was different than a distress beacon because it said crash ship on the map icon, but it's all in the same. Regardless, the last ship that we found that was crashed wasn't as good as our ship, so I'm curious to see, because we've traveled many star systems since purchasing our Pelican, I'm curious to see if this ship is going to be worth more than our current ship. Obviously, whether we're going to get the ship or not depends on its stats, but also our decision that we make here. It's signs. It's almost all signs. I think it's almost all signs. They're close because, you know, S-I-G-N, S-I-G-N. So I may just be mixing these up. Alright, I'm going to tally the votes. So, for sign, we have 187 votes. I mean, signs has 95 votes. Oh my god. Signs have 95 votes. If you forgot to put the S on the end, unfortunately your vote's not going to count. What about Signal? Signal has 84 votes. And once again, Signs has 95 votes. So it looks like Signs does, in fact, when I was right on my first assumption. Final vote. Let's do it. Signal has 83. Signs has 103. So it is Signs. Let's do it. I discover a ship technology blueprint. The creature that caused this carnage is thankfully long gone. That was extremely Mass Effect of them. Warp Reactor Sigma. Hyperdrive is granted more robust deep space exploration capabilities and the ability to leap to stars previously out of reach. Nice! Please exercise caution while traveling alone in deep space. Users advised to access hyperdrive systems through the Galactic Map. Well, we never travel alone, so we don't have to worry about that. The Magucho S-51. Is this going to be our new ship? Let's see. Ha! Someone said, what the hell is this chat about? I came back after leaving for a second, and everybody saying, signs! Signal! Signs! Signal! They're just casting their votes. So this is 25 slots. Our current ship has 26 slots, so our current ship is better. However, the abandoned ship has greater weapons capabilities, greater shield capabilities, and also greater, what is this, warp? Basically greater everything, but one less slot. And I think our ship looks better, personally. I think we're gonna stick with our ship. Yeah, we're gonna stick with our ship. Well, yeah, we're gonna stick with our ship. Not only is this ship empty in terms of fuel, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 technologies on this ship are in need of repair, where only 3 on our ship are in need of repair. It's not worth it. Almost worth it, but no. We'll probably find another ship to purchase soon anyway. Shielding Shard, thank you very much. Gek Charm, sweets! I'm ready to check that thing out. Alright, do we have any other signals or beacons on this planet? Not that I can see. What about a knowledge stone? Whoa! Must have been my life support system's going offline or something like that. We were ahead, but by what? I have no idea. Got some more Iridium, and that looks like it's just about it. We don't have any gravitational orbs on this world. So we don't really have any valuables. We don't have any pearls. That looks kind of interesting. Looks like some type of an alien tree. Alright, let's get out of here. What we're going to do now is we're going to head to the intergalactic flea market and we're going to see if there's any ships that we can buy. We don't have a lot of money right now, so we probably can't afford it. But how much money do we have? Like 500,000? 700,000. We probably can't afford it, but we're going to see what kind of ships are in this system anyway. This is a new system, and we don't really know what ships are common here yet. I don't believe we've been to this flea market. Maybe we have. I don't think so. Pulse drive engaged. T-minus 50 seconds until we reach it. I'm curious. how many different types of ships there are in the game. You know what they should do? They should add more ships to the game. That would be great. After the base building update, and after they fix some of the bugs, I think that's what they should focus on, is just adding new ships. I love ships. In Destiny, I think that's my favorite part of the game, was getting ships and finding rare ships. Ships! Unfortunately, you can only have one ship at a time in this game, where in Destiny, you could easily just switch between any number of ships that you could keep in your inventory. I was addicted to the ships in Destiny, and I was able to find a pretty rare ship. It was something's Fang. I can't remember what it was called exactly. It was almost copper in appearance.
Hostile scan detected.
They're too late. I was already entering the flea market. Some pirates are trying to scam my ship to attack me and steal my valuables, but they're gonna back off now that I'm inside of this place. What would be really cool is if they just flew in here firing, you know? And then I would fire them a little bit from where I was. You know, I wouldn't even move my ship. I would just fire the guns from the ship, and they would get out of their ship, and then I'd get out of my ship, and then we'd fight with laser swords. In a perfect world. But we don't have laser swords, and they're not going to come in here because they're not going to risk it because they're too smart for that. We have another ship inbound. Can't really tell what kind of ship it is from here. But we got a few things to sell, and after we sell a few things, I'm going to upgrade my suit.
Inventory full.
Oh, man. What do you want to give us? Interloper, Vakeen. Vakeen. That's all I got! The lifeform clicked his heels together in an authoritative fashion. Like the Nazis? Before plunging a syringe dripping with corrosive green liquid into my arm. What the hell? Holographic images of two alien races appear in my visor. A small reptilian figure, a gek, and a tall life form in metal casing. That's Corvax. The warrior snarls at me and its fingers hover over the injector, which can surely cause damage to life, limb, or equipment. It begins its interrogation. Oh my god, it's interrogating me. Pull rank? I think I can pull rank here. Yeah, I'm gonna pull rank. I'm not gonna surrender any information. Not gonna let him bully us. The warrior apologizes profusely for its transgression. It showers me with gifts. One of those gifts is thermic layer sigma. The difficult thing to me about all these thermic layer sigmas, corrosive sigmas and stuff like that is, you only have so many slots in your suit, right? So, I mean, you could just dismantle them later, but I don't really want to have 5, like to 7 different environmental protections in my suit, taking up all those slots. And it seems like it would be, unless you're exploring it for a long, extended period of time, it seems like it would be difficult to find the crafting materials to craft whatever you need for any specific planet, whenever you find a planet of said description.
Units received.
I like the Vakeen warriors. I like their race, but sometimes I just don't know about these guys.
Units received.
They're very violent, that's for damn sure, but yet, they're honorable. More honorable and reasonable than the Krogan. Krogan are not very reasonable. That's when I first saw the Vakeen, or when I first heard of the Vakeen warriors. Immediately, I assumed that they would be like the Krogan, that they would be violent and unreasonable. And while they are violent, they are far from unreasonable. It's cool. Oh man. Okay. I was hoping to check out that ship, but I guess not. It was a cool looking ship though. Had solar panels. Solar panels on the side of the ship. I love that. That was a really obscure reference. Props to anybody that got my reference just now. I don't think anybody's gonna get it. It's extremely obscure. I don't even know if I would get that. Maybe I would. Maybe. I'm still not positive if I would get that reference if someone else made it. Can I not upgrade my suit anymore? What are we at? 23 slots. I can't purchase an upgrade. Odd. Let me actually... Wait, oh, we already did. Oh my god. So it still lights up and everything, but you can't purchase it again. Obviously. Well, that's too bad. there's another ship out here. And there isn't. Well, that is a damn shame. Regardless, thank you, YouTube family, for joining us for our latest adventure through No Man's Sky. I hope you guys have fun and learned a few things about black holes. Oh, wait. Massive, just want to let you know that Sentinels will only attack you if you have a bypass chip. I don't know if that's... I think that's true if it... I didn't know that. That definitely is very useful to me. Because I was wondering why they're attacking us on certain planets, but if it's a high security planet, I think that they'll attack you no matter what. If it's a high security planet. You know what? One more thing before we end this live stream off. I'm going to make sure that we have plenty of free slots on our ship, which we do. We're going to put some of that stuff in our inventory. And we are going to attack these cargo ships before we head off. Nice! This is a mistake. This is definitely a mistake. Luckily, these guys are close enough where we can just head back to that space station for shelter and security. Alright, this is a big whale. He's got a lot of cargo here, and we're going to do our best to just get as much as we can. Alright. I'm going to make sure that all of our systems are repaired as much as they can be. Damn, we need platinum. You know what? Here we go. We're not even going to worry about repairs. One container's down. Do we get anything? Oh, there they are. We're being attacked. Hostile ships are en route. Hey, we got some copper. What else are you carrying? Wait, did this ship warp away? Oh, I did not know they could warp away. No, he didn't warp away. I don't know what I was thinking. Alright, so we can't fight these Sentinels. We're currently in a state of disrepair. The only thing we're going to focus on doing is taking these containers out, destroying them, in as much loot as we can before tucking our tails in between our legs and running back to the space station. Alright, cool. Got a lot of gear now. What do we have? What do we have? More iron! Oh, we have some titanium. Nice! Alright, so it's unlikely they can find valuables. It's more than likely going to be copper or iron or something like that. We're dead. We're so dead. Oh, crap. I should have repaired my shields. Well, too little, too late. I believe that life is a game. That life is a cruel joke. Well, that's a downer. Still, the good news is, let's say you're just starting out in the game. You know, you don't have a lot. Your ship is very basic. You see some juicy looking cargo that you want to destroy. Wow. All you need to do is die, and you can just retrieve your grave. It's actually very simple. Let's do that again. Only this time, let's remember to actually repair our deflector shields first. Really wish we had some aluminum. Speaking of aluminum, you can find that in space. Nah, there's no aluminum around us. Alright, V2, let's take this guy out. Oh my god. I just realized they've got heavy turrets. Holy crap, shielded down. Shielded down!
Critical damage taken.
Nice! Shielded back online. It looks like we destroyed their turret. The turret is no longer online. Alright, where's the loot? Here's the loot. The loot will disappear, so make sure to pick it up as quickly as you can. It's starting to disappear as we speak. 42 iron and a bunch of rhodium. Not bad. And some titanium. That was actually pretty good. It's really varied. That's for sure. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on! Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Shields. Shields. Oh, shields. Shield, 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 shield! Yes! See, that's why I don't want... Nothing found. Our inventory must be full. That's why I do not want a cursor. I like the appearance of the UI, but I don't like the cursor system in the UI. I feel like that's definitely a downgrade from just swapping between whatever blocks in the inventory. Having a cursor with an analog stick just doesn't make any sense. I feel like it's fancy, yes, but is it better? No. It just takes more time and effort to do whatever you want to do, rather than just being able to snap from place to place. Beautiful. Beautiful. Shields are back online. They can't touch me. Hopefully the space station will actually provide sanctuary. I've never tried this before. We could fight him. We could take him down. But I want to see if we can just evade him. We have 2 stars on us, and I don't think that this... Wait, there's a Vakeen space station. The Vakeen don't like the Sentinels. The Sentinel is what's coming after me. Why would they protect the Sentinels, you know? There's no reason for that to happen. Beautiful. Alright, we are protected. That's really cool, actually. Wow. Nice! Our heat's gone. We don't have any more Whoa! Okay. I guess that was Atlas's form of punishment. Atlas just telepathically tossed us against the wall and caused us to take a little bit of damage. But we're alive. Our heat's gone. We have no stars, and we got a bunch of stuff we can sell from those cargo ships. That's a great way to make money. It's probably not the best way to make money. You can probably make more money if you simply just go to different planets and find some valuables and then sell those valuables from completely legal mining or illegal mining, just mining in general. I mean, what we found isn't exactly extremely valuable. We found some titanium, which is valuable, but mostly we found copper and we found nickel. Well, you know what? Copper's not bad. 11,000. I'll take it. Was that 11 or 100? You know what? That may have been 100,000. I take it back. Cargo is very valuable. Next No Man's Sky live stream, I'm anticipating is going to be about us being pirates. I'm excited about that. Regardless, once again, thank you YouTube family for joining me for this live stream. I would make our streams as long as possible. We could theoretically stream for like 5 hours every day, and that would be a lot of fun. But my voice would not be able to take that. My throat would not be able to take that. You can only use your throat so much talking nonstop for a couple hours every day. But at the same time, that wouldn't be fair to our massive family members that can't watch us live, and they've got like 5 hours every single day. 5 hours of content to watch. We could open up our own television station after a while. Hell, I wonder if, because, okay, taking out time for commercials, right? Obviously, because that's how television stations work. They love their commercials. With how many hours we've streamed in total, how many hours of content we have on this channel, how long would our television station be able to run without reruns? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's something to think about. I'm curious about that. Unfortunately, YouTube doesn't have a feature where I can just check how many hours we've made total. That would be awesome. Regardless, once again, YouTube family, thank you for joining me for this latest adventure through No Man's Sky. I'm gonna check out what this ship is. I recognize that ship. It looks like a Gatling gun. Is the nose of the ship, but that's not. No, it's not the case. It would be really cool if it was. He's got a little astromech droid. That's awesome. These. Oh man, I think my analog stick's dying. Wait, no, it's okay. It's okay. Felt like it was dying. I was drifting a little bit. Regardless, these ships are usually a little cheaper. They're probably about 700,000. I'm gonna make a bet. You guys can make a bet if you are right now. Be fast. I'm gonna say this ship is worth under 800,000 and above 600,000. Okay, I was way off base, but you know what? To be fair, we are close to the center of the universe. Yeah, there was a time. There was a time long ago where these ships were simply worth 14 portions. If you guys are new to the Massive family, let me know and I want to do some special shoutouts for you. I'm going to pull up the 2-minute timer and we're going to do 2 minutes of straight shoutouts. So please, if you guys want shoutouts, I want to thank you for watching and having some fun with us. So let me know if you want a shout out in the chat room. You can spam it. Feel free to spam shout out or give me a shout out or I'm new to the Massive family. Feel free to spam that in the 2-minute shoutouts. Whenever you want to do that, that is the time for spam. In fact, yeah, spam it. Spam it. But it only works if everyone spams it because I want to make sure that I give a diverse amount of people shoutouts. But yeah, if you guys want to see No Man's Sky more in the future, don't forget to leave a like and of course subscribe. And we have other games as well. We have Battlefront that we play. We have many games. 2-minute timer starting now. Shout out to George Clooney. Just kidding. Shout out to Jacob Cooper. Shout out to Shiva, shout out to Evan NG. Shout out to Massive is AG. Thank you very much, man. Shout out to Dylan Price. Shout out to Rogue Leader 71, who asked if I can play Overwatch on August 31st. Hold on, let me write that down real quick. I don't know if there's a game coming out on that date. I don't know if I'm gonna have to do something on that date, but I'm gonna write it down. Or, well, I'm gonna type it down. Hold on. Don't worry, I paused the timer. There we go. Rogue Leader 71, August 31st, Overwatch. Overwatch! Is that the same shit that just flew out of here? I swear, that's the same shit. Yeah, probably forgot something. Let's continue the shoutouts. Shout out to Corbin Mason. Shout out to Mr. Lagger. Shout out to Big Zeebs. Shout out to Aaron Yazdi. Shout out to Isaac. Shout out to Aquarius Earth. Shout out to Soul Judges. Shout out to Deborah Coon. Shout out to Jude Trainer. This game is worth getting, maybe. I'm gonna pause the timer. Maybe. It depends. Honestly, I wouldn't trust any reviews on this. I would just ask yourself. If this is the type of game that you would like, you know, from the games that you've played in the past, what games are like this in certain aspects, and then go from there. I wouldn't trust any reviewers. I really wouldn't. Reviewers, especially many reviewers on YouTube, suck. I'm sorry. I'm not going to name any names, but a lot of them suck. They make money off of negativity, because being positive doesn't get you views. Being negative does, and it also gives the appearance of them being smart. Being negative and grouchy and toxic and negative, I said that twice. Being negative about something doesn't make you smart. But to a lot of people, they get that mixed up with someone being intelligent. Anyway, don't trust reviewers. Rent it. Trust yourself. Go to Redbox if they got it. Rent it for $2. Or buy it on Steam and you can return it within, if you play under 2 hours of it. And if you really don't like it, you think it's not for you and it's bad for you, then you can return it on Steam in 2 hours. Don't go over that. Or Gamefly, you can run it with Gamefly. Resuming shoutouts! Shout out to Eric Lapre! Shout out to Jaysler Sport and Gaming. Shout out to Soul. Shout out to Oliver Wright. Shout out to Uptown Waterton. Shout out to Caleb Wright. Shout out to Jonah Dowd. Shout out to Emmanuel Espinoza. Shout out to Dylan Brockband. Shout out to Ty's Channel. Shout out to Damo Devil. Shout out to I Am Garrett. And shout out to I Am Groot. Shout out to Monkey. Shout out to Warlock Melee. Shout out to Garden Attorney. Are you a zombie or a plant? Probably a plant. That would make more sense for Garden Attorney. Good luck fighting those zombie cases. Shout out to Connor. Shout out to Edgar Corona. Colton Cox. Shout out to Chadulus. Shout out to Mega. Shout out to Hammies9, shout out to Connor Nablock, shout out to Oppie Scotch, Rooksword, Alloy Snake, and Rooks. It's actually Rooksword's birthday. Shout out to you, Rooksword, man. Happy birthday. Shout out to Grimlord98, shout out to Waj Tech Salic. Second time's a charm. Shout out to Andres Hergensen, shout out to Kev M, shout out to Denny Strong. Shout out to Mossum Forever and Me. Shout out to Dylan Price once again. Thank you for your donations, man. I appreciate that. It's nice of you. Shout out to Resistance 101. Shout out to It's Nova. Shout out to this cool little ship over here. Oh, that's the one that we passed up that was crashed. Look different from the back. Shout out to Kevin Kenny. Shout out, who is actually new to the channel. Welcome, Kevin. Shout out to Mr. Shank J. Shout out to Isaac BP1 and Elder Maxon. Shout out to Big Mike. Shout out to Renatu. Shout out to It's Nova. Shout out to Steven Chadwick. Shout out to Deborah Kuhn. Shout out to Edgar. Shout out to Unknown. Shout out to Sergeant Fives, who is currently at work. Shout out to Carter Phillips, who's new to the Massive family. Shout out to Graham Stark. Actually, wait. Carter Phillips didn't say that he was new to the Massive family. Somebody else did. Where's the person that said they were new to the Massive family? Where are they? Where are they? There we go. Shout out to Joshua Fritz. Shout out to Big Zeeb. Shout out to Colby is a Gas. CJ2767. Shout out to Sebastian. Shout out to Stefanos Netherguard. Shout out to Hag Oromo Shinobi. Shout out to Red Metalist. Shout out to Joey070. Shout out to Christian, shout out to Clav Wright, shout out to G. Otterman, shout out to Crazy Star Wars Guy and Falcon XBGT. Once again, YouTube family, thank you for joining me for No Man's Sky. Until next time, game massively. And good luck out there. It's a no man's land.